And welcome everyone then to the first game of T90 Titans League Grand Final for the Platinum League. We're gonna have Hera on the left-hand side playing with Mongols, the Viper on the right-hand side playing with Bohemians. This is Shoals for game number 1. And we'll take a look at the saves and the map generation and all that good stuff, but you were asking, is this neck winning here? Well, yesterday we took a look at the head-to-head history between both these guys for the last 2 years for S-tier tournaments from the beginning of 2021 until now. And it was actually 3-1 in favor of Hera. Hera has won 3 times that these players have run into each other in the last 2 years. Or, yeah, in the last 2 years, right? And the Viper has won only 1. And you know what that one was, of course. So, yeah, you take it as you want, right? The last one that these players face each other for S-tier tournaments, the Viper won, but there was a show match afterwards, not too long after, late last year, where Hera actually kind of dominated the Viper, so we'll see what we get over here. It's going to be definitely an exciting series for sure, and I think there are pretty high chances that this might be going the distance. So, taking a look at the civilizations, once again, taking a look at Hera civilization first on the left-hand side. It's going to get with the Mongols 40% faster working hunters. It's going to get 30% extra HP unlike cavalry Hussar and Steadland Selene units. In addition to 25% faster attack and cavalry archers, and for the team bonus extra, line of sight on the scouts. He's already going forward. He's already getting a good idea of what Viper space is looking like. Meanwhile, for the yellow player playing with Bohemians, he'll get free mining cap upgrades. It's gonna have also a 100 wood discount on blacksmiths and universities, as well as fervor and sanctity, which will affect villagers in addition to monks. We'll also have for the Bohemians access to chemistry in hand cannoneer in the castle age. In spearland units, they deal 25% higher bonus damage compared to standard ones. The team bonus finally will be 80% faster working markets, and that's going to be about it. So let's take a look at the map generation. As the players are already making a transition to the feudal age, Hera's going to be there significantly earlier. This usually is going to come with water control. And then the Viper. The Viper does not seem to be fast castling himself, so that is usually how this usually goes. The Mongols go out to the feudal age faster, get water control, then the other player fast castles, gets water back. This time around, the Viper does not seem to be going for that. Now, Hera's got 1 gold and 1 stone to each side of his DC. All of these are going to be very far away, but it should be pretty straightforward for him to secure at the very least the right-hand side resources by going for these walls. And then on the left-hand side, it's going to be harder, right? He's going to need to go for something like this, or if he goes for something like this instead, he's not going to be able to secure this whatsoever. I'm liking Hera's chances. Here, taking into account the last 2 years, they're looking pretty good. Terra Nova, I thought I missed everything. No, don't worry. And the score is, yeah, I'm sorry about this. This is just from yesterday. You got it. So don't get scared. It's fine. When I said earlier that I needed to fix the scoreboard, it was because it was showing the Viper versus actually, it was Hera. No, it was showing the Viper. Yeah, the Viper versus Tata, right? And I needed to change that because it just kept the scoreboard from yesterday. I got an entire chair over here, but I only need an edge. Yeah. Thank you, guys. The fuel H is here already for both these guys, and the Viper is gonna start going for galleys, but he already lost the fishing ships, and he's so much later to it. Hera's got the lead in galley count over here. The Viper's only now going for the second one. Meanwhile, Hera back home. Yeah, it's got the fishing ships protected just by the sea tower. So Hera's gonna need to bring these units back to protect himself against the Viper. And he's going to. He was probably expecting this to be the case. We haven't taken a look at the map generation for the Viper. Probably not too relevant right now. Let's just focus on the water action. This is going in favor of Hera for sure. Meanwhile, the Viper. He's targeting. The fish and ships. Well done. Hera's going to clean this up. Yeah, and he survives. He keeps all the fish and ships alive. And the Viper, he's got 3 galleys queued up. He's got only 2 now out. 2 galleys still queued up. And Hera's not going for any extra Navy over here. Notice that he's been going for fish and ships, but no extra galleys, no extra fire galleys. This means that the Viper still has a chance to get water control. But it's going to be pretty slim. If you take a look at Viper, yeah, Bohemians 4 shoals is not what I was expecting at all, right? He does still have poles for Arena, for instance, but feels kind of awkward and doesn't really feel like he's been able to make too much happen with this. One efficient ship goes down finally for the Will player, but now here is chunking HP off the galleys from the Viper. And while the Viper's got the same military count now as Hera in the water, it doesn't matter because every time Hera's engaged against a smaller number of galleys from the Viper, and he's been able to chunk HP off. So now he's got the HP lead. And the Viper's going for extra units. Hera's going for extra units right now. He sees the Viper match him up for military count, and he's gonna respect the snake. Now, this is not the only military that Hera's going. You can take a look at the unit overview over here. You're gonna see a few scouts coming out for Hera. He's got 1 forward already, the OG one, and he's got 2 additional ones going for, so he's gonna try to put some pressure on land as well. Yeah. At the center, he should be looking a little bit stronger, right? Does he have another galley on the way? He does. So it's going to be 5 fire galleys. He's going to be 5 standard galleys for Hera. 5 standard galleys for the Viper as well. And here comes Hera. That's going to be reduced to only 4 for the Viper, it feels like. He's losing a lot of HP, and Hera's getting kind of blocked by the tree. And here come the scouts. Let's see if the snake is going to react on time. It seems like that might not be the case. No, it is. That Hera is realizing about the villager moving over to the north. So he's going to try to target the gold miners instead. And we're going to see the first villager going down over there. It's going to be a huge loss for the Viper. He's not reacting over here whatsoever. Probably paying attention just to water. And that'll be 4 villagers going down. The Viper realizes about this way too late. If he loses these villagers and he loses the water engagement as well, this might very well end up being game right away. And the Viper seems like he's going to just do that. It seems like he's going to end up losing on both fronts. Quick walls start coming up, and he's trying for dear life. He's scraped enough resources to click out to the castle age. But Hera's denying resources already. He's got the scouts. Let's get the scouts, pushing villagers away, or keeping the villagers away from gold. He's got the scouts, keeping villagers away from berries. He's got the galleys, taking villagers down over here, taking the galleys down from the Viper as well. Preventing the yellow player from taking advantage of water here, going for any fishing ships or anything. The game is looking very, very precarious for the Viper. 33 population versus 57 for Hera, who, by the way, will be on his way to the castle age as well. And that's how now the villager going down, and everything seems to be falling apart for the snake. And indeed, we have gotten to that position where it's going to take a little bit of a throw from Hera. It's not going to be up to the Viper anymore. Only if both these players play this perfectly. Hera wins 10 times out of 10. And the Viper's gonna be banking on Hera making some pretty large mistakes. Sitting behind in less than 20 minutes already. Yeah. Do foot boats count in Eco KD on capture H? Yes. This is for eco units. So it includes villagers, fishing ships, and trade cards. Trade cards, yeah, like trade units, right? Trade cards, trade cog. Not the best engagement over there for Hera. I would say it's kind of far from the big mistakes that I was talking about, but anyway. Oh god. Oh boy. Hera ended up losing the villager. But yeah, the Viper's got a lot to catch up for in Hera. Hera's gonna be in the castle age in only 20 seconds, so he'll be able to go for the extra TCs himself. You can see his economy is so much stronger than the Viper's. He should be able to go for the extra TCs right away. As a matter of fact, if he buys 100 additional stone, he can go for 4 TCs. And he's still the one with the stronger navy, although he's not really aware of the Viper's galleys, I think. Viper's got the possibility over here to take the fishing ships down. And he will. Hera's realizing about this. Reaction is not the fastest, but he's going to realize. There we go. Hey, Melangers! It's been a while, yes! How's it going? How are you doing? Hope everything's going alright. Hope you're looking forward to the grand finals of T90 Titans League. If you've been struggling to keep up with the Twitch coverage, I've been uploading everything to YouTube as well, in case you would like to catch it over there. And indeed, Hera does buy 100 stone, and he does go for 4 TCs. Now, while the Viper, being behind the Siwas, won't really be able to go and contest any of the neutral golds because of Hera's map presence with the light cavalry now, not even scouts only, light cavalry now as well. Hera's going to take advantage of that and go for the 4 TC next to the neutral gold. And he should be able to not only keep up with villager production, but exceed the Viper's villager production potential. And start pulling ahead even further. Mini throw by Hera to not have cleaned up Viper's galleys. I think he cleaned up Viper's galleys. I think these might have been new ones. He needed to take down the dock, but he didn't really have the means to do so. With fuel aging, it's very hard to take down the sea tower. It's very strong. It's also different from a watchtower in the sense that it doesn't really have any minimum range. So from the get-go, this sea tower is going to behave as if you had researched murder holes. So you cannot even go for a few fire galleys and take it down from the base, right? Doesn't work. Everything's been great, just super busy. I miss so much action in AoE. Yeah, but it's good, right, to be busy. And it's good to hear. Monk for the Viper. He's just roaming around, keeping an eye on what the Viper's going for. Every time the Viper's gonna try to get some vision here. And Hera doesn't really have the vision to spot this right now. Yeah, and the game is stabilizing, right? But once again, from this point onwards, assuming that Hera is able to keep all the TCs working, and it seems like he is. He's going for wheelbarrow, and he keeps all 3 TCs working still. Should be getting ahead even further in villager count. He's 10 workers ahead, and the Viper's gonna keep on trying. To be completely honest, I wouldn't have been surprised if the Viper had called a GG when he lost water and the villagers on land at the same time, but he was a little bit closer to going up to the castle age, right? So he tried to play his card like that. Now we see the monks going down right away. Not a single conversion comes up, and that's gonna be another batch of villagers from the Viper going down. Should be. Let's see if Hera will be able to execute on his famous Hera snipes. He's being careful on the Viper. The Viper is being very careful over here as well. No Hera snipe in the end. Oh, he got a villager up in the north though. There we go. I was confused when I loaded the stream, so this is the first game of the finals, right? Yes! This is T90 Titans League Platinum Division Grand Finals. It's a best of 7. And the map for game number 1 is Shoals. Take a look at the draft once again after this game is over, of course. This is Hera's game to lose, indeed. Viper still sticking to 3 TCs only, and Hera's coming over with light cover once again. He's been able to get so much damage with these units, it's ridiculous. Even if he only killed 3 units, quote unquote only kill 3 units. He ended up delaying the castle a little bit. He ended up pushing the Viper back home with light cavalry around here, right? And he's gonna be the only player with access to one of the neutral goals. He's gonna be the first player going up to the Imperial Age as well. And I am extremely puzzled about Viper's civilization choice over here myself too. And I'm not too sure what this is going to be for. Hera's got the Mongols. I guess the Viper was probably expecting something else perhaps. But Hera's got the Mongols, which means that he shouldn't really worry about Halberdier or Huvnice. Both units the Bohemians rely on pretty heavily, so... Yeah, I don't know what the late game is going to hold for the Viper even, right? He's gonna have higher HP, Hussar units. He's going to have Mangodai. Don't care about the Halberdier, don't care about the Huvnice. They take them down pretty easily, as a matter of fact. And Hera's gonna start pumping the castles very soon. He's got 18 stone miners, of course, so we're gonna see the first castle. Probably it'll be a good idea for Hera, given the fact that he's the first one to the Imperial Age, to go for one castle perhaps around here, right? Oh yes! And we see a castle come up in front of the goal from Hera. But he's gonna have to relocate it because of Viper's castle coming up a little bit earlier. Interesting to see. Kazu never misses Hera's knife. You got it. One's made the most sense for this map off of Hera's tip pick, so I'd be shocked if he was surprised. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I'm not really sure what Viper's plan was over here. He's got, yeah, chemistry coming up as he goes up to the Imperial Age, so he'll be getting access to bombard cannons right away. What is that going to give him though? Well, to be fair, Hera doesn't really have Mangodai yet. So he won't be able to counter those units. He's got the second castle on the way, he's just trying to play this one. A little bit like Fortress, a little bit like Black Forest, right? Where he's going for upgrades first, the units later. Hey, Blanky Babu. Hi, hi. It's crazy that Hera got to him faster while getting handcard and going for 4 TCs. Yeah, it's been the stronger economy he's had to work with for a long time, right? We take a look at gather economy time over here. Hera's ahead by 3 hours and 17 minutes of extra gathering economy time over here. As a matter of fact, that's going to be about 20% stronger or higher gather economy time compared to the Viper so far. That is a lot. 3 hours should amount to about 3,000 resources or so. And because the eco upgrade, that's probably actually a little bit higher right now. You can take a look at it. You can see that Hera's going for the Trebuchet. He's got the Mangodai over here. He doesn't really, right now, have enough Mangodai to go for it and try to take the Trebuchet or the Bombard Cannon. He needs the upgrades. He's going for it. Elite Mangodai is going to be absolutely instrumental for Hera for sure. He can get Bakunar or Bracer Chemistry if he wants to. And he will. But Elite Mangodai is going to take these guys and make them significantly stronger against siege weapons specifically, so it's gonna need to do that. Meanwhile, Viper's coming over with the Trebuchet, the Bombard Cannon, and here come the Mangodai. Is gonna try and make a play for the Bombard Cannon. Let's see if he can do it. Yeah, it's not enough. You see, it's almost as if he had like standard archers or something. It's not going to deal anywhere near as much damage as you would expect the Mangodai to deal, right? And the Viper, he keeps the villagers at hand, so he's going to keep the Bombard Cannons at high HP. Like cavalry. Oh, the raid coming out for Hera. The Viper realizing A little bit late. Will now taking a few losses over here. Villagers, monks potentially going down, and this is good for Hera. He gets away with the raid one more time. Starting to get to a good amount of Mango Day over here. We are still missing, of course, the elite Mango Day upgrade. These guys, they only get 3 bonus damage against siege. He's gonna try to, and he gets the trebuchet down. He's getting to the numbers he needs to take the bombard cannons down. Take the trebuchets down. This is looking a little bit better for Hera right now. And he's going for elite Mango Day. He's got Thumb Ring on the way. Panther Arch Armor for +1/+1. Very soon these will be fully upgraded. He's got already Bloodlines. He's got Husbandry as well. Hera will get cleaned up, but he, once again, is getting away with a few extra kills over here. And it seems like you jinxed it. You said if the players expand into the other neutral gold, and just like that, Hera's gonna be the one going over there. So he's got the 3rd castle, he's got the 4th castle on the way now. The Viper is once again just an enigma here. What is the plan? What was the plan? We talked about what the Bohemians get. Free gold mining upgrades. Was he banking on that for getting water control, perhaps? Stronger gold miners? More efficient gold miners? I don't know. It doesn't seem right. Spartan Tactics coming in right now as well. Yeah, and Viper's unable to collect any gold. Seems like he's run out effectively of the golds back home. This is only going to get you so far, of course. And he has run out of gold. So from this point onwards, it's going to be all about trash units for the Viper. 7 out of 10 strategy. Oh, Viper's gonna feel the burn right now. And he's not working out. What is that about? So, here come the Mango Day once again. These are elite already. He's taking on the pikeman. Not really struggling to do so. He's got the meat shield with a Hussar over here, remember? Gets 30% extra HP on these units. And the pikeman, they are going down right away. Now the skirmishers will be next in line. At the very least, Viper's been doing a really good job of targeting the Mango Day specifically manually with the skirmisher, so he will end up taking the majority of the Mango Day down. That was a little bit sloppy from Hera. Viper will still end up getting kind of cleaned up over here, and the bombard cannon is going down. And this is what I'm talking about. With elite Mango Day, does not take too many hits for the trebuchets. The bombard cannon to go down, and the Viper gets pushed out. He's gonna try and make a play for the right hand side, sending a crap ton of villagers, got enough resources. Go for 2 castles right away, and very soon it's gonna have enough resources to go for a 3rd castle as well. And Hera, well, Hera's gonna try to go for yet another castle on the right hand side, but he sees already the pikeman coming up. Hey, Almost C has been following away for 4 years, 1 month and 18 days, 19 hours. Damn, that is a lot. That is a good point. Hera can't afford to take the losses. He's the only player with access to gold right now, and he's just going to replenish this pretty easily. He's going to start going forward and getting the raids going once again. A very scary amount of Azar to work with for the blue player. And then on the right hand side, this castle is coming up for the Viper. This castle from Hera is not. It's within the range of the castle from the Viper, so Hera's got to go for some siege, but he doesn't have the population space. Going to bring the trebuchets across the shawls. And quiet. I'm Hisham. Oh! Yeah, no wonder I didn't recognize Almost C. How's it going? Welcome back. Long time no siege. Or Dallas and Viper 8. Well, the Viper seems like he's going to get control of the right-hand side, so that's something, right? But here comes Hera. He's gonna try and breach through. He's got a good amount of units. And the Viper's gonna be cornered. He's got some bar cannons coming out. He's got population space still. The Viper, you can go for 30 extra units. You can go for the siege he needs. Take this down. And Hera, interestingly enough, he is Q and Cannon Galleon. This will allow him to take this to sea down. He's going to take the castle down as well with a Cannon Galleon. But he doesn't need it. We have 4 trebuchets for the Wool player to work with. And then on the right-hand side, he manages to get 2 trebuchets out though. That's good. He's going to try and get the castles down, the Viper. Doesn't seem like he'll be able to do much of anything against this. He was going for the bombard cannons, but the Mangudai, they are taking the units down pretty easily. Going great! Back to playing AoE, so trying to learn from your streams. That's so nice. I guess I'm going to switch to call you Almost C now, as opposed to Hisham. But you let me know. I do have some plans on making guides and tip videos on my YouTube channel as well. If you're not subscribed over there, you might want to take a look at it. Drills is on the way for Hera now as well. It's got C-Tram. And there we go. Markan's going down pretty easy, right? It's a very precarious spot for the Viper where his siege weapons get taken down faster by the Mangudai than the Mangudai get taken down by skirmishers. It means there is no effective counter for the Viper to Hera's units to keep his siege alive. And it's been looking like Hera's game since the PLH, but it took some time to seal the deal. And while the Viper, they gave Hera a little bit of a fight over here. Did put up a little bit of a fight, and he's going down swinging here. Hera was at no point in time, in my opinion, looking any worse than the Viper. And the Viper goes on to call the GG. This was a 5,000 score lead for Hera. 15,000 over that, actually. 15,700 and 5 higher points for Hera compared to the Viper. And that was honestly, while the population for the Viper got high and whatever, it did not seem to be particularly close. And Hera dominates game number 1. The Viper not looking too sharp over here. The civilization choice still puzzles me. I'm pretty sure there was a plan behind this. I just don't see what it was, and certainly did not work out. And Hera, he gets a better KD. It's going to be 3-2 for the Bull player. We take a look at economy. We're going to have for economy a stronger economy for Hera with about 12,000 extra resources. Such a massive lead. And for society, the villager max count favors Hera. He was the one to take the fewest losses as well, losing 16 villagers throughout the game, the Viper. He ended up losing about 29 workers throughout the game. Actually, villagers, right? That's going to be actually 3 higher worker losses because of the fishing ships, and well done! And there we are, the Viper and the Hera for game number 2. They'll be playing on the left-hand side and right-hand sides respectively with Lithuanians and Persians in the yellow and blue colors, and this is going to be cross for the second game of the day. Was the players picking each other's home maps in the playoffs? Yeah, and yesterday we saw not only players picking each other's home maps, but losing their own home maps as well. Like every time they pick the other player's home map, they will win that one. It was so weird to see, and now, well, this is what we get, right? Enemy high! That is the nicest viewer count you can rate somebody with. Thanks so much for the rates, very much appreciated, and welcome you guys, welcome everyone. I hope you had a good stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're casting, of course, the Viper versus Hera game number 2. For T90 Titans League Platinum Division Grand Finals. Taking a look at the right-hand side, here is playing with Persians. That means he'll get 10, 15, and 20% faster working TCs and docks. In the Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages, those buildings will come in with twice the HP for the civilization, and then on top of that, they begin with 50 extra wood, 50 extra food, and for the team bonus, their Night units get 2 bonus damage against Archer-type units. Let's take a look at the map generation for Hera. So for the Bull player, we're going to see first, the main gold is forward for him. And the TC is going to spawn in between both these lakes. So it's not going to be particularly straightforward for him to wall to a corner, right? Secondary golds are going to be both on the right-hand side. One towards the south, the other one towards the north. And then we have the main stone on the right-hand side. Secondary stone is going to be towards the southwest. For what he could potentially go for walls, well, there are some options over here. He could try to go for something a little bit greedier like this, right? And this way he would be able to actually secure the entire pond, but he wouldn't be able to secure a single wood line, and the TC would be kind of exposed over here, not completely surrounded. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. I think something like this could actually be good, but it'll be kind of a struggle for him to defend this area, for instance, right? If he were to go for these walls. We'll see. A little bit of a scout over there trying to get some damage done. It's not going to be possible. So let's take a look at Viper Civilization and map generation next. The Lithuanians will grant the Viper 150 extra food upon start in the game. 50 extra additional resources compared to the Persians. They get 10% fast moving skirm and spearline units in addition to 1 extra attack. A Knights and Lycha unit per each relic garrison, up to 4 relics, so up to +4 attack. For the team bonus, the monasteries will work 20% faster for the Viper, so going for relics is going to be a little bit more straightforward. And guys, predictions are open. For the next 3 minutes still, thanks to match our base, you're going to be able to predict who you think is going to win game number 2 using your channel points. Now let's take a look at the map generation for the Viper. Yellow players got the main gold right next to the TC, kind of backish. The secondary gold is going to be on the right-hand side. The other secondary gold is going to be forward. And the main stone is forward as well for the Viper, and the map hacks over here do not seem to be working out for the Snake. Unlike Hera, there is no straightforward way for the Viper to protect the entire lake over here, so he would have to go for something like walls from here to here, potentially something like this, I guess, and just connect the dots, right? And this way, he would be able to protect the gold. He will be able to protect the wood line, though, which is a departure compared to Hera's map generation, and he will be able to also protect the berry bushes. There we go. DLE, once he gets to the Castle Age, he would want to go with some TCs to protect some of these extra resources. So maybe a TC around here to protect the secondary gold. Yeah, maybe another one over here to protect the stone. I'm not really sure. I think there's an elevation over there that wouldn't make it possible, but regardless. Team stabilized right now, but these guys are going up to the Fuel Age. And about the same population. Viper's got 1 extra fishing ship, though. Yeah, and we see a sneaky villager coming over from Hera. He already knows where the dock is from the Viper, right? So he's gonna try and be sneaky about this. Taking a look at the Viper's point of view, as a matter of fact, he's going for the sneaky dock himself, and Hera's got the fishing ship over there, but he's missing this by 1 tile. How unlucky is this for Hera? Damn. So the Viper's going to get away with this. And let's take a look at who takes the engagement over here. Should be going in favor of the Viper, so Hera's going to bail. But taking a look at Viper's point of view, he's got no idea. Oh, he knows! He knows! And he spotted the village, and so Hera won't be able to get the sneaky dock up over here. Meanwhile, the Viper will be able to dock up himself. He's got a fire galley on the way. And if we take a look at Hera's clueless about this. He's got no idea. My lord, this is looking already much better for the Snake. At the very least, compared to game number 1, it's not looking particularly close. Well, I mean, I guess it is, right? Population is very close between both these guys, but when comparing this to game number 1, it's looking better for the Viper in any case. Still chasing the villager away, you know? His scout's got the most HP, so he's going to body block the villager. That's gonna be a nice snake snipe. He got it. As the Fire Galley comes out from the Viper, Hera's gonna react and go for his own Fire Galley, but he'll most likely not end up losing at the very least one fishing ship, probably more than one. And the Viper's going for extra Fire Galleys. He's keeping an eye on the shoreline as well with the fishing ships. It's looking good. Here comes the scout from the Viper as well. He'll try to take the villager down. Yeah, if he plays his cards right, he'll be able to do it. He's got 2 Fire Galleys over here versus only 1 from Hera. So, should be able to take the villager down, or at the very least, provide a distraction. So the villager cannot repair the galley over there. But I thought that the Viper was going to try and target the villager with the Fire Galley and the scout at the same time. He's not doing it, so the villager is going to stay alive. He'll be able to keep on repairing. The Viper's got some villager over here still alive, so it's going to be fine for the yellow player too. Dream would be War Elephants trample in a base. He's gonna TC drop. Ah, alright. Talking about fantasy plays over here. Well, given the stakes of this series, I would imagine we're probably going to be quite short on fantasy plays in any case. But I love to see something like that, of course. Myself, let's take a look. The Viper. He's gotta be careful. Oh! The Fire Galley is going down! Almost! The Viper's unit control is good. He's paying attention. He's got another sneaky dog coming up down the south as well, where Hera's got no vision of this at all. The blue player is going to be on a single dog, so the Viper's looking good. Viper's looking great. As a matter of fact, he takes down 3 out of 4 fishing ships. He will take down the Fire Galleys over here as well. Yes, sir, he will. Nothing more annoying than not killing a 1 HP fire ship. Indeed. And the Viper's going for the Fire Galley. Oh, and Hera lost. Oh, the Viper's got scouts over here. He ended up taking 1 villager from Hera. That is very good. Hera's reacting though. Going for his own Fire Galley, but the Viper's got a head start. So this is kind of like what we saw from Hera in game number 1, where he was going for land and he was going for water at the same time. Now it's going to be Viper's turn to go for the same thing. And notice, the Viper's economy is looking so much stronger as well. So he might be the first player able to go out to the castle age as well. But he's got the scouts. Maybe able to get a villager or 2 down over here if he plays his cards right. He's got 3 scouts total. The third one's only now coming forward. I think this is the one that he had on the right-hand side, right? Probably. Hera's got his own scouts on the way, but the Viper's looking good. He will end up getting control of the right-hand side water. There's simply not a chance for Hera to come back over here without going for any extra docks. The Viper should be getting full control of this pond. That's going to be 2 ponds on the Viper's control, and then down the south. Viper's looking stronger as well. Yes, sir. He's looking stronger. He's going to take the Fire Galley down, and it seems like he's probably going to end up getting control of the south pond as well. Now at the center, we're going to see Hera go for scouts himself. The archer play from the Viper will provide enough of a boost for his army to keep Hera away from taking the engagement here. There we go. Right hand side. Viper. Oh! Viper actually got, for the most part, cleaned up. Probably saw a demo shot over here at some point or 2. And down the south. Yeah, down the south, Viper's gotta be careful. It seems like he was paying attention on land, right? And it's going to stay open. It's going to stay open, as a matter of fact. The Viper's taking so long to get the walls up. He had to go around his own house foundation. Only now he's getting the gate top, but the scouts are coming in already. So Hera's gonna try to go for his famous Hera's knives. Meanwhile, the Viper's gonna go for the counter strike as well. He's got the archers in addition to the scouts too, so should be a little bit stronger. Shouldn't be affected quite as much by quick walls. So we'll see probably a villager or 2 go down over here. The Viper's only now going for fletching, but he's got it. And Hera, sure to sticking around Viper's base, is just going to bring all the units back. Beautiful. The Viper is unable to do too much damage over here. Hera's been able to defend himself, which is fine. And down the south, we'll see the villager go down for the Viper. Yeah, that was that was not particularly close. He will end up getting cleaned up over here, but he will be the first one to click out to the castle agent on the right hand side. He does manage to get water control one more time, right? So he will be taking the dog down, and it's gonna be just fine. He's going to the castle age so much earlier compared to Hera. You take a look at the bull player's resource, and he's got nowhere near enough to click out to the castle age himself. The Viper doesn't know about these session ships and Hera. And Hera's got good vision. It's not going to be perfect though. We need to see a dock come up over here for the Viper. But honestly, I don't think he needs to. Right now, he's got 2 pawns under his control. He's going to be so much faster to the castle age. It seems like he's just going to try and make a play for land, and you're calling it. It's going to be a nice play for the Viper for sure. Ideally, once he gets to the castle age, he wants to go for a monastery ASAP so he can start collecting the relics. Big push from the Viper, trying to take the stable down. Castle into GG. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Hera is not too close from the castle age, but he's not taking too many losses. But that might be about to change as the scouts are coming over. The Viper will end up taking a few villages down over here. He gets his round going. He should be able to get 2 villages. Probably could have been able to get more than 2 kills. Now he's kind of getting trapped over here, and Hera's got an incredible amount of scouts to take on the Viper. But now that the blue player has cleaned this up, he's going to be able to go for it, try to get some damage done with these units. But against castle age units, it's not going to be too good, right? We have knights coming out right now for the Viper. And honestly, like 4 or 5 knights are going to take care of this just fine. Viper's got a second TC on the way as well, which will make it significantly easier for him to protect himself, especially against just scouts, right? And check this out! The Viper seemed like he was going to get cleaned out down the south. He was able to clutch it up. And it seems like he's going to end up getting 3 out of 4 pawns. Damn! How good is this from the Viper? Hera honestly could take both these fire guys down with a single demo shot, but just by taking the fishing ships down from Hera, the Viper already puts himself in such a great lead. And the second DC is finally coming up for the Viper. So now while Hera goes out to the castle age, the Viper should be in a position to start pulling ahead in village count by about 12 or so by the time Hera gets to the castle age himself. And this is assuming a double TC production only, right? We have third TC coming up. The Viper. Knights are coming over. We need the upgrades, so Viper doesn't even have scale bar than armor right now. So he's got castle age units, sure. But without even +1/+1, without forging, without anything, these knights are not the strongest units. It's actually a much closer fight than it should be because of that. But the knights will come out on top, for sure. It's going to result in a cemetery of scouts from Hera. He gets to the castle age, but he's going to be left on only 5 scouts to upgrade to light covering. Meanwhile, the Viper's got the monastery, and he's got the first relic already in. It's looking good. He should have vision on the second one down the south over here. He's probably going to try and collect it. Yes. And then there is another one over here. Another one over here. Seems like he's trying to keep an eye on this one. And then there is another one over here. And Hera realized about the monk way too late, but it seems like he should still be able to take it down. And he's going to do it just in time. Viper almost gets away with a conversion over there. I thought the Viper was going to try to go after this relic. If he had gone after that one, ironically enough, he actually would have been safer. As Hera was kind of guarding the closest relic from the Viper. Let's see. Yeah, sorry the stream went down over there for a second. I am recording this locally as well. So hopefully it's not going to be too much of an issue for YouTube at the very least. There we go. Go behind on villagers, but Hera is in this way more than I thought he'd be. I don't know, in this position it seems to me like Hera is in a similar spot compared to the Viper in the previous game. We have a significant score lead for the Viper, much stronger economy, he's got maybe not quite as much of a military lead to be fair, but with 3 out of 4 pawns under his control, 3 TCs compared to only 1 from Hera, it doesn't seem like the Viper is going to stop skyrocketing in economy over here anytime soon. And right now, the worker delta over here is such that the Viper should be able to keep production of the extra TCs he's got without that impacting his ability to go for military. So he should be able to go for just as many units as Hera's going. But this is not good though. The Viper's not paying attention on time. He's paying attention down south. Instead, he's going to try to deny the Siege Workshop, and it seems like he's not going to be able to. Oh, at the last second though, he manages 99.95% completion for the Siege Workshop over there. Now the Viper will end up taking a few losses over here for sure, but it shouldn't be too bad in any case. He's got all 3 TCs to defend himself with. Yeah, and the Viper was not paying attention on the wall, so Hera comes in, but the Viper still stays 23 workers ahead. It's looking good. I believe in Hera and his light cavalry. It's gonna take copious amounts of Hera snipes over here for him to catch up. Still 24 workers behind. He's got 5 light cavalry inside Viper's base in a dream. He's got some camels outside, some extra light cavalry as well. The Viper is gonna go for pikes. So he should be able to defend himself just fine. What is a worker? Either a villager or a fishing ship. So right now the villager count is higher for the Viper, but by 19 only, and then the rest is going to be extra fishing ships compared to Hera. 4 additional ones. Here we are. Hera's going to clean this up by the looks of things. But the Viper still, ironically enough, left on a higher military count due to Hera also taking heavy losses in the engagement. I guess the difference between this game and the previous one is that Hera is able to somewhat strike back from time to time, while the Viper is still definitely on the lead. Last game, for instance, it didn't seem like Hera was ever on the back foot, and the Viper has been kind of caught off guard over here a few times. Let's check. Pikemen are coming forward. They will take on the monks. We see some conversions coming up. It's not going to be enough, and of course, converting pikemen is going to be a very poor use of the monk's faith. Especially the Viper ends up cleaning these units up. Well, not the best unit control though. The Viper was targeting the converted pikes as opposed to the cavalry units, so he ends up getting cleaned up. Yeah, that was not good for the Viper, but he's still, once again, still ahead in military counts. Gonna start adding some extra stables. And he's gotten the second relic finally, the one that was close to his base. And try to make a play for the extra relics. 2 more and he maximizes the bonus of his civilization. With the extra stables right now, he's gonna be able to make a play for knights. He's going for light cavalry right now though, because of the monk play from Hera. So it's going to be scouts and pikemen. He's got another barracks on the way. Well, on paper, that should work pretty well against Hera. And once again, if he sends the pikemen forward, he could bait the conversions out of the monks. It's kind of forced into it, right? Otherwise, pikes dominate against cavalry. So we see the conversions coming up, and now the monks do not have any faith left, and Hera is about to lose all his monks over here. He was bound to do so, and he does. Viper most likely not going to end up coming out on top over here once again. Yeah, and he does, and Hera is going to call the GG over here. It's been coming a long time. The writing's been on the wall for a little while. Viper does end up getting game number 2. In similar fashion to game number 1, right? We saw one of these players stay ahead for such a long time, but taking their time to seal the game, and the other player keep on trying as well. So let's take a look at the achievements over here. And what do we get? We're going to see a better KD for the Viper, 6 to 5 KD ratio. For economy, we have a stronger economy for the Viper as well, collecting about 3,200 or close to extra resources. Absolutely fantastic. For society, a stronger villager max count for the Viper as well. He ended up losing throughout the game 7 villagers only, while here on the other hand ended up losing, well, for villagers alone, he ended up losing about 7 himself too, so it's going to be the same for both these guys. In the end, Hera was the one to take the most fishing ship losses though, so it's still going to be more a better eco KD for the Viper in any case. Well done. And the series heats up, guys, 1-1. This was Hera's home map going in favor of the Viper. So we'll see what we have available still for games 3 through 7. And welcome everyone to game number 3. It's gonna take place on this classic map, Arabia. It's not going to be the original Arabia version, but it's going to be Hera's map of choice for game number 3. Now, predictions are open. Thank you so much, our base. Once again, for the next 5 minutes, you have the ability to predict who you think is going to win game number 3 and get it in the series between the Viper and Hera. And I believe the predictions right now. Let's take a look. What is option 1? Option 1 is going to be Hera. Option 2 is going to be the Viper. Nice. So you have 5 minutes for that. Now let's take a look at the civilization. Hera's going for commerce. That means he's going to get 10% faster moving battle elephant line units. He gets with the civilization also farmers who do not need mills or TCs to drop food. He's going to be affected by no building requirements, and he's got also the ability to garrison 5 villagers inside each house. Well, for the team bonus, Scorpions get 1 extra range for Hera civilization. The map generation next for the Bull player is actually not looking too bad. It's going to be kind of pricey for him to wall himself up, but we're going to take a look at that in a moment. First off, he's got the main goal towards the southeast, so that's good. He's got a secondary goal over here on the right-hand side. It's kind of backish. And the other secondary goal is going to be towards the northwest. Main stone towards the left-hand side as well. Secondary stone is going to be towards the southwest. And if he were to wall himself by utilizing the natural features of the map, so something like this, here, something like this, it'll be kind of pricey for sure. But he will be able to protect this, 2 golds, right? Which is fantastic, and the berries. But no wood lines unless he went for the walls. Actually, I don't think he needs to... Oh no, this is not connected to the edge of the map. You can see in the minimap that there is a gap over there, right? So I don't think this is... Okay, let's actually take a look at that. It's gonna look awkward, but no problem. I can just... whoop, move everything. And it's fine. So I guess he could potentially get maybe a house or something over here. And that way he would be able to secure this, right? Anyway, for the yellow player on the other hand, what do we get? The Viper's playing with Mayans, so he's gonna begin with 1 extra villager at the expense of 50 food at the beginning of the game. He gets 15% longer lasting resources, 10, 20, and 30% cheaper archer units in the field castle and Imperial Ages, while for the team bonus, the Mayans will get 40% discount on walls. Now, let's take a look at this. The Viper's going for a Drush. We don't have enough time to take a look at his map generation, but it's looking pretty good just by taking a look at the minimap over here. It's got the goal on the back, and he should be able to wall himself towards the TC just fine. Let's see if he can get anything done with the Drush. Hera's already reacted over here very nicely. He's got the houses up. He's got the quick walls up around individual resources, so it doesn't seem like the Viper will be able to do much of anything. And it's not going to be a fast castle. It's going to be a Drush flush for the Viper. Well, Hera's going for the scouts right away. So now is the time to take a look at Viper's map generation. He does have the main goal on the back. It's got both secondary goals on the left-hand side, very far away. It's going to be beyond the potential walls. Right, we're probably going to see something like this, something like this. And he'll be able to secure this. No woodlines though, just the one goal. I guess it's probably fine. But yeah, I think I'm liking Hera's map generation better. If Hera does end up going for the walls eventually, right now with the quick walls around individual resources, he doesn't really secure much of anything, of course. And the dress does deny the gold. It's not something that Hera was going for right away because of the scout play, but it's something that he's gonna need to get access to very soon in order to eventually go up to the castle age. Because it's only 2 militias and 1 scout, it shouldn't take too many units for Hera to clean those guys up. So with about 4 scouts or so, he should be able to get a good engagement over here. He's got 3 scouts right now, so we're missing 1. And for the time being, it's actually just going forward, and the Viper's reaction is swift. We might still see a village go down, not quite! He doesn't target the villager, instead tries to roam around to find villagers elsewhere, but he cannot do much of anything. And on the right hand side, the militias come in though. It was over foraged over there for a moment by the looks of things, but it's unlikely that Hera is going to end up losing a single villager over here. As a matter of fact, nobody has lost a single unit except for the Viper, who's about to lose the scout, and he does. So it's gonna be first blood going in favor of Hera, and these militias are very low HP right now, very unlikely to achieve much of anything. And Hera, honestly, can probably just get away with playing forward with these scouts and never bringing the units back to take care of the militias because of how weak they are. Villagers on their own right will take the militias down so long as Hera pays attention, right? Yeah. Well, he does have some scouts that he was going for still back home, so he will end up taking the militias down. At the best engagement, Hera doesn't end up losing a scout. He shouldn't have to, but it's going to be 5 scouts left for Hera. 6, as a matter of fact. He's got another one out. The Viper's gonna go for Eagle scouts. He's gonna go for archers. Hey, Teo. Hi. Welcome to you too as well. And overall, Hera's got the highest potential for damage because of his current army. But Viper, he's got a good amount of spearmen. So long as he plays his cards right, should be able to defend himself just fine. The only way in which I see Hera potentially overpowering the Viper's defenses is by going for scale, bar than arm, by going for forging. Most importantly as well, and on top of that, Bloodlines would be quite good for Hera as well. Wait. Are you actually my nephew? I do have a nephew, but I don't think you are him. I think it's probably just like a pet name of sorts, right? Alright. Viper's gonna be fine. He gets the house up over here, and then Hera cannot do much of anything over here anymore. It's just going to be a play for the castle age from both these guys. Yeah, most likely the game stabilizes right now fully. Yeah, there we go. Because I do have a nephew, but my nephew is like 20 years older than I am. And I haven't seen him in forever. Most likely is not going to be the kind of a person to be around Twitch, I'll tell you. Mr. 7, he will call you uncle. Looking forward to it. Scale bar and armor's on the way for Hera. He's not gonna... Oh, he's going for forging first. Okay. He's gonna try and breach through. There is a way by which Hera might be able to breach through, and that is just by splitting his army up and trying to target the palisades multiple places at once. This is close, by the way. This is close, yeah. But it's kind of tricky because of the archers from the Viper. The Viper is going to take a small amount of scouts down pretty easily. And Hera's going to have to make a choice as he wants to does he want to protect one of the units, one of the armies, right? Or the other army with the skirmishes? He's not really going to have the ability to protect everything at once. And yeah, in the end, it's just going to be a play for the castle age, right? And Hero's going to be the first one to click up. Now, Viper's economy does not seem to be strong enough to go out to the castle age anytime soon. He's going for archers right now and spearmen. He's got a second archer range on the way. Yeah. He'll be my raven-haired uncle. Of course. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever you want. I wish I was special. Let's not go there. Bloodlines on the way now for Hera. Yeah, with forging in Bloodlines, Scale Brother is gonna be a little bit of a redundant upgrade for him. He can go for it still, but with the extra HP already, these scouts go up by about 40% or so. So they're much stronger now with the spearman going down. He doesn't have to worry about any counter units, and this could very well be going in favor of Hera. He's got no scale bar than armor, but it doesn't seem like it's going to make much of a difference. There we go. The eagles are going down, and yes sir, the archers are going down from the Viper. He's getting completely wiped out of the snake. Goes down to 6 military units while going out to the castle age so much later in Hera. Hera's got still a good amount of skirmishers over here, and these are actually very good. If he goes for Balkan arrow, these guys are already going to be so much stronger compared to the fuel age skirmishers, and if he gets elite skirmishers, he's actually going to have enough units over here to take villages down pretty easily in the castle age. Scouts are trying to break through. The Viper still a minute and a half away from the castle age. Is ahead by about 5 workers, mind you. Hera's not going for any extra TC. He's just going to go for full knight production play over here by the looks of it. Yeah, no armor upgrades for Hera, but it was very much on purpose. He was going for scale bar than armor first. He cancelled it in the forging. And he didn't need it, right? So long as he was able to take the archers down with skirmishers. And he's got elite skirmishers right now. This is what I'm talking about. Doesn't have Balkan armor yet. But elite skirmishers also going to give these guys one extra attack. And it's going to make them so much stronger compared to fuel H units. So he could very well end up taking a bunch of villagers down over here. The Viper's got no safe wood lines. It's going to see on the way for the yellow player and Hera. And it's going to ramp up the pressure. Ideally, we probably expect to see a 4 siege workshop coming out from Hera at some point, right? So sending a villager forward. He'll want to go for one, I would say. Actually, I'm not really sure. Like, it'd be possible for him to get the siege workshop up over here, which is going to be closer to Viper's base, but he could potentially go for the siege workshop around here as well. But here he comes though anyway, manages to break through. The knights are coming in, taking some villagers down. The Viper is in the same work account as Hera. He's got stone crossbows coming up forward. We'll see if he can get any damage done over here. He'll try for sure. No ballistics though. So long as Hera's paying attention, he should be able to walk away just fine. Yeah, and he's got the house bonus over here, so it's gonna be fine, right? It's got a stone wall. And the house wall. Beautiful reaction from Hera. Absolutely fantastic. He's bringing the knights back home, so he should be able to take care of these guys pretty easily. Yeah, the second TC is on the way for Hera right now. It's gonna give an up on the full knight production play here. Nice play from Hera, deleting the houses over there, preventing the quick walls from providing a choke point for Viper's units. He will end up clearing the units up, even if the knights end up going down over here. We still have the skirmishers. going next. And take a look at Hera. He out garrisons the villagers just to get the house up. And now he's going to bring them back to work. Well done. Beautiful. And the Viper's got the 30C on the way now. He is ahead in worker count, and the Viper is ahead right now in military count as well. This CC is good. He's going to secure the stone, which he wouldn't have been able to access otherwise. There is stone on the right-hand side as well. And he would probably want to go for something over here on the left-hand side at some point. The Viper's got both the secondary... Oops, that is not correct, sorry. He's got both secondary goals on the left-hand side. He's going for something over here. And if not a TC, maybe a castle at some point. He's not collecting any stone right now, but he does need something to protect these two golds. Eagle Scouts coming over from the Viper. Shouldn't really be able to get too much damage done over here. Hera's paying attention, so he's just going to garrison the villagers and bring a few knights over to clean these guys up. Yeah, and Hera's reaction has been really good. For all the pressure the Viper's been putting so far, Hera's lost a single villager so far this game. He's got a very close to 2-to-1 kill ratio, Hera that is as well, so it's been very cost effective for him for the most part. And Viper's going for Eagle Warriors. This could be good. He's got, so far, I believe, only one barracks, right? Yeah, and Hera's unit control is fantastic. He will end up losing one villager over here trying to get the TC up. That's only going to allow the Viper to catch up and eco KD. The pincer move coming in from Hera though. And the Viper. The Viper does have also a couple of units coming up. Yeah, and actually it seems like it's going in favor of the Viper very much so. With the Eagle Warriors taking on the skirmishers. Crosso's taking on the skirmishers as well. The Viper is taking a few too many losses though. To the skirmishers over there. Now Hera. Hera might be able to take the guys down over there. The Eagle Warriors are turning around and fighting with a heal advantage, but we still have the numbers. And the sheer power for Hera's units to clean out those Eagles and clean out those Crosses. And once again, the Viper is going to get completely wiped out. It's going to be once again the situation that Hera is 2-to-1. Eco KD right now compared to the Viper. And if it weren't because of the Lions over here, I'm not really sure what kind of position the Viper would find himself in, right? Hera's looking good. He's been able to keep up in work count for the most part as well. Oh, but the Viper's got a second wave of units coming over the right-hand side. Hera. Then reacting time over here. Doesn't have losing yet another villager. Still very low Eco KD overall this game. We are past half an hour and players are getting to 100 population. The Viper has been able to get 3 villages down only with like 3 different raids so far. And he's going to go for a forward castle. That's a very interesting position for the castle. On the hill is going to be good. But it's not really going to deny much of anything. I would probably prefer for the Viper to try and go for the castle over here next to the stone instead. But let's take a look. This does not have enough range. Not even with Bracer to target a TC. No. Hera has been stuck in houses for so long. Viper must have much more. Gather eco time. I would imagine that worker count has been pretty similar for both these guys. Why not build it on the little hill? Little hill. This one, so that he would be able to target the TC. Yeah, I could have gone for it. Like, honestly, I can think of at the very least one better place for the castle. That probably would have been better as well. And he would have been able to target both these TCs, but anyway. Yeah, the Viper does have a lead in gather economy time. It's not going to be massive, mind you. About 40 minutes. At this point in time, proportionally speaking, it's not going to represent too much of a lead. Viper's gonna continue committing to crossbows. Hera is gonna continue going for skirmishers. No extra knights coming out from the bull player. It's gonna be the one under the most pressure right now. Mind up, clearing these units up though. Once again, the Viper seems like he's gonna get surrounded. Who is your favorite of the series, Uncle Nova? No need for your opinion to be backed up by arguments. My favorite in the series are here. I don't have a favorite in the series, man. I'm a caster. I'm unbiased. I just want to get a good series. And so far, it's shaping out to be a great one. The Eagle Warriors are getting more and more damage down over here, even with the TC garrison already. We'll see yet another village go down. The Viper's forecast is going to give him a fantastic stepping stone, on top of which he'll be able to increase his pressure. You know what? You want to give an answer? Be honest? No, I'm serious over here. I honestly do not really have a favorite. It's good to see the Viper being contested by somebody, so I wouldn't mind if Hera won over here for sure. And the Viper, if he won, I'm not against that either, because I know a lot of people are still rooting for the Snake to like kind of regain his throne. And yeah, it's good either way. So long as we have a good series, I don't mind. I think Nova is Viper fanboy just like me. So I guess if I had to choose, no matter what, I would say if I had to choose one of these players, like if he was, you know, gone to the head kind of situation, I'd say probably the Viper, basically just because of the results that we have been seeing in the last couple of years, right? Like Hera's been getting better results every time that he's fought against the Viper so far, at the very least 3 out of 4 times in S tier events. So if the Viper won over here, it would make things a little bit more even, actually. Interestingly enough. Are you going to the line in Argentina that Hera has been teasing for a while? I have not heard anything about it, so probably not. I don't know. Since I stream in English, I would imagine the only reason they would want me there would be to provide coverage for the English audience, but Roxy speaks better English than I do, so it's probably not much of a necessity. Castle's coming out for Hera once again. Why did Hera stop building the castle? Yeah, he just needed to push the units from the Viper away. Now he's got the castle coming out once again. Land in Argentina for Hera. They've been teasing a land for a while. In Argentina, I'm not really sure if it's going to be just for Argentinian players or what it's going to be. We don't have too much information right now, but yeah, Hera and Roxy seem to be putting it together. Nice raids coming in from Hera though. He's getting some nice knives over here. He's got a stronger economy compared to the Viper as well. And this 4 castle, unlike the castle from the Viper, actually does get something done right. It's going to target 1 TC. So the Viper's eventually going to go down to 3 TCs once again. Hera's on 3 TCs himself. Full stop. Actually, it's going to be 4 TCs for the Viper, right? He's got 5 right now. But Hera's raids over here looking so much stronger, guys. That's a lot of villages going down underneath the TC. Hera's got chain bar that I'm already. So these knights are extremely resilient, even against garrison TCs. And the Imperial is on the way for Hera. Did he use the market? He didn't really use the market too much. Probably, yeah, it's just the insane food economy from the Khmer, right? Allowing him to get the food that he was missing. He already was on a good amount of gold for a while. And he does manage to go out to the Imperialists. The Viper not so much. And Hera's behind the military in work account. But going up so much earlier to the Imperial Age. Should be in a pretty good position. Your English is wonderful. Nothing wrong with it at all. Yeah, I'm not saying my English is bad. Just that hers is better. So it's not necessary, right, to bring me over. And to be honest, like most of the guys from Argentina, they already speak English. So like even Nikab could provide coverage in English. Hera, obviously, right, could provide coverage in English as well. So probably not something high on the priority list. Now is when the mobility overpower Mayans. Well, Mayans, they also have their own mobile units. They have the Eagle Warriors. 60 Cs for the Viper, yes. Viper's going pretty heavily into Eagles. He's got 5 barracks production. While here on the other hand, is going to get access to Cavalier very soon. How many stables do we have for the blue player? 3 stables. The 4th one is on the way only now. Yeah, and it seems like Hera's going to make a play for Cavalier. Which is good. And against Castle Age units, is not going to have a counter, right? Like, Pikemen are not going to be enough against Cavalier. And Eagle Warriors, you know it's not going to be enough against Cavalier. They are not enough against Eagle Warriors. They are not enough, sorry, against Knights. Let alone against Cavalier. So Hera's got to go for it. It's got the resources. It's got Trebuchet on the way already. Try and take the castle down. The south over here, if he's able to do that. And the Viper's not going to have any fortifications left to defend himself with, right? Just the TCs. So plate Bard and Armor's on the way for Hera at the same time as he's going for Cavalier in about a minute and 20 seconds. Gonna be in such a good spot while the Viper's only now clicking out to the Imperial Age. It's gonna take forever for the Viper to get access to Elite Eagle Warrior, let alone El Dorado. Especially if he ends up losing the castle over here. We could very well see this castle go down as well. Hera's got Trebuchet production coming from the back castle. Yeah, and the Viper is going to have yet another castle come up over here, right? But yeah, it's looking good. Hera, it's gone for the battle elephant over here. Was that a misclick? We'll see Hera coming straight past the castle. He's trying to split his units up to see if there is anything from the Viper. He's got to pay attention to, and he will. And he's got the Cavalier upgrade. So there we go. Here come the Viper's paying attention only here to get the quick walls out. So that means that he's going to get cleaned up over here. All the villages going down. Viper's trying to get the relics for sure. And then up in the north, it seems like the Trebuchet went down actually to Viper's Eagle Warriors. Not the best for Hera. He can go for another one. He's got the Cavalier still to get damage and to protect those Trebuchets, but he didn't have them on time before. And the TC's going down for the Viper. The castle should be going down very soon. It's still 1 minute and 10 seconds away from the Imperial Age himself. And Hera's not only catching up, he's surpassing the Viper in population. Military count is about the same, but the military value is so much higher for Hera. Punching power of these units for the Bull player is so much higher compared to anything that the Viper's got right now to play with. Yeah, and he was trying to trap the TC. Could have been the MTC, of course. With the castle being here, the Viper was a little bit more cautious, and he's going for the TC that's closer to... He's going for Imperial Age with the TC that's closer to his castle on the left-hand side, the farthest one. The Cavalier. They'll try to get the TC down. Hera needs to keep on going for more units. Viper's got the Halberdier upgrade on the way now. Plate mail armor as well. Yeah, and the castle's going down for the Viper. This castle is going to stay up for the time being. And the Viper's been taking the most losses so far, for sure. Pulling 2k gold? Yeah. There we go. PC's going down, and Hera is gonna start going pretty heavily into light cavalry. Not too many Cavalier anymore. As a matter of fact, he's probably going to end up losing the units if he commits to the engagement, so he's bailing. But the momentum's here for the Canadian player still, though. Here we are. Right hand side. DC going down from the Viper once again, targeted by the castles from Hera. And this is something that the Viper could probably have gotten away with himself if he had gone for a better position for his own forward castle, right? The first one, this one. Yeah, but in the end, it wasn't really targeting much of anything, and I don't want to say he's paying the price for it now. It's not the castle that put the Viper behind over here, right? But he definitely would have been able to get a lot more damage done if he had gone for a better location over there now. He's falling behind in work account. He's behind in army value still. Population for Hera is 200 already, and the Viper's going for El Dorado. He's going already for 100 HP Eagle Warriors. And these should be elite Eagle Warriors, right? Where are these? They are! And they are 100 HP. Hera? Yeah, Hera's going for Hazar. Trying to take the castle down still. This is going to provide a meat shield against the Eagle Warriors. Not going to be strong enough, mind you. Elite Eagle Warriors should be able to take this. Unless Hera goes for a few extra Cavalier, right? But we'll see. With the Halberdier over here mixed in, if he goes for the Eagle Warriors and the Halberdier forward together like this, yeah, that's going to be very, very hard for Hera to take a good engagement. So here comes the big battle. As Hera turns around, he's not going to shy away from the engagement. And it seems like this should be going in favor of the Viper, but we'll see. The HP pool is looking better for the yellow player indeed. It seems like it's going to be not close at all. The Viper takes the engagement. He completely wipes out Hera's units, who goes down to 160 population, down from 200 just a minute ago. Viper's got some great momentum he's picking up over here. Yeah, and with the trebuchets, the Halberdier, Elite Eagle Warrior with El Dorado, Hera's forced into a defensive castle, and this is not a position Hera was hoping to be in right now when he was the one with so much momentum, right? He still ended up giving Viper enough time to get to an army composition that was going to work against what Hera had, that was going to give him momentum, that was going to allow the Viper's push to pick up steam over here. And Hera, yeah, Hera's now the one on the back foot. The raids are roaming around from the Viper as well. And the Eagles made all the difference in the world. It's no wall mod. Yeah, well, Hera, originally he was just banking on the houses, right? The ability to garrison villages over there, but in the end, it kinda bite him back. But disregarding the walls completely now, it's going to be much easier for the Viper to get the raids going. Now, the Viper was trying to go for some walls over here, but this is something that basically remains from the foliage, not something that he was like really considering in the later stages of the game. And notice how the Viper is very deliberate in his army composition. He's going for a lot of Halberdier right now after getting the Eagle Warriors outright. So it doesn't seem like Hera's going to have much of a choice against this. He starts to go for hand cannoneer, but it's going to take a long time for him to get to a good amount of units. Right now, Viper's military count is so high that hand cannoneer is still not going to be strong enough unless we get probably 20, 25 perhaps. The Hell Mass is growing and the Q is looking good. Rough for Hera. Yeah. Yeah, and the Viper. The Viper has run out of gold, mind you. As a matter of fact, I think we have almost no gold left on the map. There is this one left for Hera. That's going to be 140. Plus this one he's collecting from as well. And then this one up in the north. Where is it? Right there. About 1100 gold left for Hera to collect from. But, well, he gets pushed away from this one. And the Viper? The Viper's getting 4 relics, so even if gold runs out in the map, he's going to be the only player with access to gold units. After 5 minutes or so. Hera took so many small better fights all game, and then the Eagles changed everything in one big fight at the end of there. Yeah, that was really well played from the Viper as well. And it was it was basically the way that he approached the engagement as well, mixing the units up, and instead of trying to target like one unit type with one unit type and then the other unit type with a different unit type, he would just kind of mix everything together. So if the skirmishers at any point in time started targeting the Eagle Warriors, the Halberdier survived, and the Halberdier were going to take all the cavalry down, of course. And it was overall well played. Now the Viper's got... It's got Bracer, alright. It's got Powder Arch Armor coming up. Trying to get some gold. To go for what? He's playing Mayan, so he gets cheaper archers, right? So... Can make play for Arbalaster, sorry. Here we go. Bullshit. That's a good question. Let me take a look. Did you see it? I didn't notice it. I'm taking a look right now, and the Viper, he does not have Pulch Javelineers yet, so he's going for skirmishes instead. No Arbalists at all. When he was selling the wood to get gold over here, I thought he was going to try to make a play for Arbalisters. They are fully upgraded for him, not so much for the Khmer, but against cavalry units doesn't really make sense. And to be honest, skirmishers against cavalry units doesn't really make sense, but he already has a Halberdier. If he was going to mix something with a Halberdier, I probably would have preferred for that to be Arbalisters. It's the more versatile unit. But skirmishers are going to work fine against hand cannoneer anyway. And the Viper doesn't really have any Eagle Warriors anymore. And Hera's going for the raids. He's going for what he knows the best. The Hussar raids. Hera had golds where we took a look at earlier, right? So over here, then he had one gold in the back. I think that one probably already ran out. And then up in the north, he was collecting gold, but he's run out of this one as well. So there's only this gold left, I think, for Hera. But it's not going to be particularly secure. And there's a pause! There is a pause! Oh boy! It's an interesting time to interrupt the game. Let me take a look to see what is going on here. Okay, it was Hera pausing the game, but the game is going to continue. Alright. I really should have kept those eagles alive. Yeah, and eagles, you know, unlike Arbalesters or potentially even militia line units, they're going to be so gold intensive. Even with 4 relics, it's going to take a very long time for you to get a good amount of units back up. So, not the best for the Viper now. He's going for a castle, though, next to the goal. This won't really do much of anything. Like, it's going to deny the goal from Hera, but there isn't really too much left over here. I guess the Viper could still try and take advantage of it. You know, 878 goals gonna be still good enough for, what is that, 17 eagles, right? And the Viper's going for Hulcha Javelineers now. A little Halberdier that could. Right there. Boy. Hera's position over here is not the best, and the Viper's military count is so much stronger. Twice the military count compared to Hera's. And this is made possible by the Mayans being so damn efficient. And the Viper's actually not going for the goal, interestingly enough. Is this within range of the cast from Hera? Ah, that explains it. Makes sense. Alright. Twice the count, and a lot of it is direct counter units. Yes. You see hand cannoneers still here. So long as the Viper plays his cards right. Yeah, he can target these units. And Hera's got access to no gold anymore. No relics even. Viper could potentially go for a relic heist here. Does he have a monk? He's got a monk. Where's the monk? He's not sending the monk forward. Alright. But it's whatever, right? What I'm getting to is, or what I'm getting at is Hera. If the Viper just sacrifices a few of these units to directly target the hand cannoneer, Hera won't be able to replenish these. And when it comes to skirmishers versus skirmishers, the Lucho Javelineers from the Viper will be simply stronger. And they're going to be stronger against all types of units even, because the second spear will also deal additional damage to any other unit type. It should be pretty good for the Viper, so... We have the Cherishas over here. The Cherishas will go down though for the Viper, at the very least. Should be the case. The castle is taking a lot of losses though. And if the Cherisha does not go down right away, 2 more, actually 3 more shots I think. And the castle goes down. Yeah! And Hera is back in the traps, back up. What is this about? Is it trying to close the gap? What is the plan over here? That castle is staying up just barely. And Hera's gonna try to go after the castle from the Viper over here, but Viper should be able to counter this. Where are the units from the yellow player? He's got some eagles, some halberdier on the back of Hera's base, and then the rest of the units were kind of out of position. Yeah, that is a very, very optimistic push from Hera. Now, to be fair, 4 Cherishas will tear the castle apart pretty quickly. Even with the hill advantage over here, it's going to be as strong as 3 Cherisha push. Such a long game. Here come the halberdier. Here's going to try to split. We have a very small amount of hand cannoneer left for the bull player. They are going down, and this is what I'm talking about. I need to target these manually, and he's going to absolutely clean everything up from Hera. As the castle crumbles from the Viper, it was not really doing much of anything in the first place. So Viper's not going to be too hurt by it. Yeah, there you go. And Hera goes on to call the GG. Hera goes on to call the GG, and Viper gets the lead in the series 2-1. The snake bites back. It's going to keep Hera in the ground over here, and Hera certainly going to try and get back up in the rest of the series. But so far, Viper 2, Hera nil. This was Hera's home map, remember as well. Viper's home maps are Arena, Fortress, and Nomad. So this is the second out of 3 home maps from Hera that the Viper wins in. All right, he won on, Cross. He won on Arabia. He lost Shoals, the neutral map. Now Hera, I can't imagine him being too keen on Arena or Fortress, but we'll take a look. We'll take a look at what we get. For the time being, the KD favors Hera over here. It doesn't really matter because the economy actually was so much stronger for Hera as well. But yeah, it doesn't really matter too much because of the civilization from the Viper being so damn efficient. The Mayans, man. Higher villager max count for Hera as well. 13 higher villager max count compared to the Viper. It doesn't really matter. In the end, Viper does go down to 97 villagers over here, but was still strong enough of an economy for him to stay on 200 population with a much stronger military count compared to Hera, of course. Fortress auto in, or just needs one more game? I don't know. I think Hera's got Kumans, right? We'll see. Welcome everyone into game number 4, the Viper versus Hera. 2-1, favoring the snake. We'll be playing in the yellow and blue colors respectively. We have Malians versus Spanish. Viper's gonna be on the right hand side, Hera's gonna be on the left hand side. So yesterday somebody asked me what I thought about this version of Nomad. And I said that I liked it because it provides more options. This particular generation actually does have the center lake connected to the outer water. So it's not going to be the case, right, that the players will have to make a choice between the outer and the inner water. But anyway. This generation is pants. I guess so. It's shorts. It could be pants as well. They're just hanged out to dry. So let's take a look at the civilizations, the TC locations, whatnot. Starting with Hera. We'll see for the Spanish that they get 33% faster working builders. That's usually going to allow them to get ahead in work count by 1 or so. In this case, it was not so much the case. The Viper actually managed to get the dock up a little bit earlier, so he's got the fishing ship and out a little bit sooner compared to Hera, so he's going to stay actually ahead by 1 worker, the Viper, from time to time. Besides the faster working builders, Hero Civilization is going to give him 18% faster attacking gunpowder units, no gold cost on blacksmith upgrades, and faster projectiles on cannon galleon. They'll behave as if they had ballistics. Viper Civilization, on the other hand, he's got the Malleus, which means a 15% will discount on buildings. It means 30% longer lasting golds. In addition to 1 extra pierce armor and barracks units per age. The Malleus will also have for the team bonus. They're gonna have 80% faster working universities. Regardless, checking the DC location for both these guys. We're gonna have, there we go, very, very mini castle. We are going to have for the bull player actually. 1 gold towards the south, he's got 1 gold towards the north over here. Both are kind of far away from the TC. It's going to be the same for Stone as well. He's got 2 options, but they're going to be kind of far away. So maybe not the best, right? But he does have 1 boar over here. He's going to go and try to collect right away. There is a 2nd boar over here, a 3rd boar over here, so that's going to be 3 boars. And if we take a look at his point of view, he sees 2 out of 3. Oh, he's going to try to collect 2 at the same time. Okay. Let's check Vipers. DC location over here. What do we get for the yellow player? And predictions are open, by the way, guys. 1 minute and 30 seconds left for you to predict who you think is going to win game number 4. Option 1, Hera. Option 2, the Viper. For the Snake, he does have 1 gold immediately next to the TC. A lot closer compared to the golds available to Hera. However, there are no 2nd golds available to the Viper, at the very least, easily, right? There is 1 over here, but it's so far away on the right-hand side. Then, for Stone, we have 1 on the right-hand side. We have 1 on the left-hand side as well. And that seems like it's going to be about it, right? For boars, on the other hand, we're going to see a similar situation. 1, 2 boars available. I think he probably already collected 1 more. He does have another 1 over here, though. So that's going to be 3. I guess maybe he could get this one, depending on his scouting information. Let's see if he knows. He knows about 2 of these. He knows about 2 of these. He probably can see this one if it moves over to the left-hand side. And then this one on the left-hand side, I don't think he's going to be aware of. Oh, Hera's trapping villager. The villager from the Viper, though. Yes, sir. Nice.
Monday?
Viper's effectively trapped here. For the time being, that is. Village on the way for both these guys. 21 pop. For both these guys, Viper's going up significantly earlier. He did manage to get ahead in economy since earlier into this game. Once again, not something that you're expecting to see from the Spanish to fall behind, right? The Nomad, but the Viper's looking good. It's got 1 extra worker, it's got into the fuel age, so they'll be able to resume production from the TC as well. Hera's gonna continue falling behind. Even further right now. Only about 7 minutes of extra gather economy time for the Viper. Not too much. Worth about 140 resources in an ideal world, of course. We have the galleys coming up for the Viper. I like to see the standard galley play over here from the Viper as opposed to going for fire galleys. He's got a head start to the fuel age. He could have gone absolutely for fire galleys and then make a transition to galleys. He would have had a meat shield And then he would probably still have had enough time to keep up with galley production compared to Hera, right? But let's check. Here we are. Looking good. Yeah, looking very, very good for the Viper. He's getting Fire Galley out right now. I was kind of expecting him to continue going for the galleys until he got to like 5, 6, so that he would be able to counter whatever Hera went for. It's not really been going into Navy too heavily, right? It's got like 3 Navy units. Yeah, and Hera's gonna start going for the galleys himself. As a matter of fact, Hera could very well end up outproducing the Viper over here. Hera idle? Hera's not really going too heavily into Navy himself either. Hey, Luca. Hi. Yeah, the economy time is going to continue getting higher and higher for the Viper. The work count right now is a little bit stronger for the Viper as well. 3 higher working count compared to Hera. And the Viper? Yeah, there we go. Now the Viper starts going for extra fire galleys. Not my favorite choice. Definitely would have preferred for him to go for just standard galleys. But this is still going to be stronger overall. It's a game of numbers, and Hera right now doesn't really have too much to work with, right? So if the Viper does get 2 additional fire galleys out, he should be in a good position now. Notice he's going to try and play for the Castle Age. He's got a blacksmith on the way. It's going to be the second building. He's got a market already up. The Viper's going to be on his way to the Castle Age very soon. And it seems like he is still looking stronger over here in water compared to Hera. The Viper see the other dock. He sent the galley up in the north, but he did not spot it actually. He missed it by 1 tile. There we go. Castle Age is on the way for the Viper, and Hera not so much. We were expecting to see Spanish from Hera. A Nomad here. But this is not going to be much of a fast castle from Hera at all. So it's not going to be your standard fast castle into Conquistador play. Instead, Viper is going to be faster to the Castle Age compared to Hera. He still retains a higher work count, not anymore. Yeah, but after he takes the dock down over here, and then he starts roaming around and takes the fishing ships down as well, he's going to start pulling ahead one more time. And Hera's not really looking too good. He's trying to play for the Castle Age himself, but he's kind of beat already by the Viper. Got house over there for a little bit as well, yes. Dock goes down. Hera's gonna be left on only 1. Market on the way for Hera. He was missing a building! This is so rough! He's trying to rush the market with 3 villages, 4 villages as a matter of fact, and this is so much later though, compared to the Viper's uptime. At the very least, he's able to get some damage down, though. 2 fishing ships do go down over there to Hera's galleys, but he will eventually get cleaned up over here. And the Viper, as long as he's paying some attention to the water, he should be able to pull the fishing ships away. Okay, this is not good. Hera's going to get away with so much damage over here if he's paying attention. He's going to take 1 down. He's going to take 2 down. Most likely, yeah. Well done. Beautiful. The Viper's got into the Castle Age, guys, already, and he's got a monastery on the way. No stone miners. No castle prospect whatsoever. It's got a stable, and it's going to be knight production. Where is the stable actually? Oh, right next to the monastery. So it's going to be knights and monks. No extra TCs for the Viper. No castle play. No extra docks. I don't know. Viper seems to be kind of wasting the chance over here to get ahead. Knights and monks are going to be stopped by a single castle from Hera. And Hera's been collecting stone quite heavily, so he will go for the Conquistadors in the end. It was just not going to be a fast castle play in the end, but like a single castle from the bull player around here will be enough to prevent the Viper from pushing whatsoever. Okay, there we go. Second TC is coming out for the Viper. This I like a little bit better. Let's collect some relics. With those 4 snipes and with the Stonefish alive, this is actually looking a lot better for Hera than it should. I completely agree, and the Viper is surely, in the end, still going to end up getting water control, I would imagine. Okay, more of a defensive castle coming out for Hera, it's fine. Gonna go for the castle over here. He didn't really have too much map presence, right? But he's going for the second TC as well. And the Viper? Viper should still be the one on the lead. He's got a lot of extra military units. Hera's got nothing right now to defend himself with. On water. On land either. Well, the TCs do come up. We're gonna see a third TC on the way, and Hera's gonna be fine. It seems like Viper won't be able to do too much damage over here to speak up. I wonder how much food those fishing ships collected with that new dock, like these fishing ships over here. Yeah, no idea. That's one of the things that I wish we had available in Capture-It and aggregate the resources collected per unit. Anyway. There than 4 TCs on the way for the Viper. Yeah, he recognizes it's not really possible for him to get any damage done with a small amount of units. And he had to make a choice. Does he want to go for extra knights over here, potentially go for a 4 siege workshop, try to make a play for aggression over here against the Spanish? Against the Spanish? Or does he want to go for the extra TCs? And he decided to go for the extra TCs, and I agree with this choice from the Viper. If he wanted to go for aggression, then probably, you know, Hera wouldn't have struggled too much. For all that Viper knows, after Hera cleans up the knights, he's gonna go back to stone, and then the Viper going for a 4 siege workshop or something over here. Hera would probably be able to get enough stone to get a castle up himself. Here you go. Here's going back. Conversions coming in from the Viper. Here is forcing to the lead in some of the conquistadors. He won't really be able to do too much damage. This is way too late for Hera to go forward with a few conquistadors and hope to get any damage done. The Viper is already on 4 TCs. Interestingly enough, actually, he's struggling to keep them working, so it's Hera the one to get a hidden working count. But yeah, regardless, it's very unlikely the bull player will be able to get any damage done over here. The Viper's already gotten away with the walls, and he's fine. He's looking just fine. The conversions come up. The delicious ensue. Hera cannot risk giving those units away, so it's not a great normal game to watch. I do agree with you, and definitely not the kind of normal game that we are used to in any case. And this is, interestingly enough, going to be because of the map generation. The players are so far from each other, they are going to be able to secure themselves pretty easily. And there isn't really too much opportunity for aggression over here. They just need to cover such great distance. Number the new arena. Let's see. Viper's gonna have enough stone to go for a castle very soon. Yes, he could go for a 4 castle. And Viper's gonna try to get something done, right? It's gonna try to get some aggression going. He's unable to, for the most part right now, though. Here you are. Beautiful. Viper is bringing the villagers over, indeed, to get the castle up. And taking a look at the economy from both these guys, Hera was ahead in work account for a little bit longer over there, but overall gather economy time is actually still higher for the Viper. Now I would imagine this is probably because of the stronger economy for him earlier in the game, kind of offsetting for the extra villages Hera was able to, or the extra workers that Hera was able to get to after getting to the castle, right? And Viper's going for the castle. You take a look at the resources, and Viper, he's looking good. It seems like he's gonna go up to the Imperial Age significantly earlier compared to Hera. Hera didn't re-wall the hole. Yeah, it's not going to be too important over here, right? The castle comes up, and then these palaces become irrelevant. Or Siege Workshop on the way for the Viper. And Hera's gonna try and roam around to get some damage down with the Conquistadors. Does manage to get a villager down over there, I think. Is that blood? Kinda hard to tell. Yeah, but the Viper's on his way to the Imperial Age already, and Hera's taking forever! He's taking so much longer to click up. You take what happened to Hera in the Fuel Age, when he was struggling to click out to the Castle Age, he was missing the buildings, whatnot, and you just multiply that tenfold, and Hera is going to struggle this much to go out to the Imperial Age this time around. It's not going to be a matter of getting an extra building up for Hera, it's going to be a matter of just his economy not being strong enough. So we see the conversions coming up over here. We still have 5 monks for the Viper to play with. The Conquistadors over there are going to be under peril, so Hera brings them back. Won't be able to get too much damage over here, and the Viper still retains a good amount of villagers for it. Well done. It's been pretty uneventful for the most part up until this point, right? Now, it seems that we're gonna go from 0 to 100 in the span of 2 minutes. Well, once the Viper gets to the Imperial Age, you can bet your butt it's gonna start going for trebuchets, and you can bet your butt Hera's castle over here is gonna start taking heavy losses. We'll see the walls coming up for the Viper. If he goes for a gate over here, he's gonna trap the units. Cannot do it though. That's another set of snipes over here from Hera. Viper kind of feeding Hera's military the kills over there, but he is still significantly earlier to the Imperial Age. He still has, you know, somewhat comparable work account over here, only behind by 7, so not too bad. And once again, thanks so much for the follows, guys. Appreciate it. Welcome everyone. Hope you're having a good time so far. We have finally gotten to the grand final of T90 Titans League. It felt like such a long tournament because of the group stage and so many series. We are finally getting here. There you are. And the Silver League before that? Yeah. I'm actually not really sure if the Gold League... Is the Gold League going to finish next weekend? Or does it finish today as well? I'm curious. I haven't really been able to cover too much of the Gold League. I covered one of Neely's series. The Sidon series. On Neely's channel, actually. And it's already available on YouTube. And then, I think... one series from Slam, right? Was it Slam versus freaking Andy, I think? So only 2 sets, and I still have one series that was recommended to me. I think between Gabby and Dragonstar, was it? That I was told that I must watch that one, so I'm very much looking forward to potentially provide coverage for that one if the Gold League is going to... Oh, finished. They didn't do finals. Okay, so it's just group stage. Wow, Hero goes on to call the GG over here. This was fairly uneventful since we got to the Imperial Age, to be fair, which is why I was kind of digressing over there. But the Viper was just with one Trebuchet, getting enough damage done over here, and Hera was simply unable to get the resource to click out to the Imperial, so it just goes on to call the GG. But yeah, it makes sense. Thank you for the clarification over there. So we have no playoff stage for the Gold League, I see. All right. Anyway, that's going in favor of the Viper, who is going to position himself one game away from taking the series, guys. Viper's going to be define the pattern of the series over here by actually winning a home map. Let's take a look at the achievements before taking a look at what the civilizations and the maps left are. We see for military ability for Hera, we see for economy, stronger economy for the Viper. That kind of offsets for that a little bit. Higher work count for Hera, higher village max count over here in any case, and overall work count is better for Hera still. He did not have any efficiencies at the end of the game, of course, but he ended up losing only 3 villages, which is why this was looking so uneventful, right? Like, it didn't seem the Viper was able to get too much damage done, but Hera recognized the lead from the Snake and decided to call the GG regardless. So definitely a departure though, compared to what we saw in the previous games where, you know, players on the back foot would take so much longer to call the GG. This time around it was not quite as long for Hera to wait. Let's go back. Let's go! Welcome everyone to game number 5, match point already. We're gonna catch up over here to live gameplay. And Hera's playing with Hindustanis, the Viper's playing with the Chinese towards the southeast and northwest of the map respectively. Hera. Well, he's got, with this civilization, 10, 15, 20, 25% cheaper villager production from the Dark Age to the Imperial Age. 25% faster attacking camel rider units. Besides that, the Hindustanis will also get +1/+1 armor on gunpowder units, and for the team bonus, camel rider units, like Cavalry and Hussar units, will get 2 bonus damage actually against buildings. Well, the Viper civilization is going to begin with 3 extra villages upon starting the game, at the expense of 200 food and 50 wood. Besides that, the Chinese get 5 extra line of sight and 5 higher population support per TCs, and 10, 15, and 30% cheaper upgrades to the Field Castle and Imperial Ages. Team bonus finally will give Viper 10% additional food on farms for free. So we can take a look at the map generation over here. Because of the way that this map works, however, players are very unlikely to go for walls that surround their bases. They're probably just going to end up going for walls that are going to protect individual resources. But it's still very important to take a look at this, because if you take a look, we have 1 gold on the right hand side for Hera, 1 stone on the right hand side, and then we're going to have 1 gold and 1 stone on the left hand side for the blue player. This means that the Viper wouldn't be able to deny all the resources with a single push, because these are kind of split apart, right? We have 1 gold and 1 stone on each side. If you take a look at Viper's map generation, on the other hand, he is going to have both golds on the right hand side. He's going to have both the stones on the left hand side, right? So this means that, and this is very, very unlikely, by the way, but if the blue player were to come with a tower over here, for instance, he will be able to deny both these resources with a single fortification. And this is what I'm talking about. You're not going to be walling yourself completely, for sure. You're going to be walling individual resources. But both these goals are going to be available on the same position, right, for the Viper. So Hera could potentially end up denying both these with either a tower or an archer play or whatever. It's unlikely we're going to see archers, and Hera is going up already on 19 population, so it's going to be a play for scouts. And the Viper on the other hand is going to take a little bit longer to go out to the Fuel Age. It's probably going to be a scout play for him as well. Yes. Predictions are on once again, guys, for who wins game number 5 for the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds. You still have enough time to get your predictions going. Option 1, Hera. Option 2, the Viper. You can use your channel points. to predict who you think is going to win. My dinner could be more poorly timed. Might be missing the final game. Enjoy, guys. Oh, on the boy. Well, that'd be kind of bad, right? Coming back from dinner and like the stream is over. But there's always going to be the VOD in any case. 27 seconds is pretty good idle time for the Viper. It's kind of high though. It's usually 22, 23 from what I have seen from the Chinese. The lowest I have seen was like 19. That's when you have like the herdable immediately available. You have it underneath the TC already, but or you can just bring it underneath the TC right away, but like it's whatever. 4 extra seconds is not going to lose the game for the Viper. And as expected, we have the Civil on the way for the yellow player, we have the Civil on the way for the blue player, and it's going to be a play for scouts for both these guys. It's kind of necessary, right? You need to go for this. The mobility is going to be key. Map is very open, and players are very far away, so the only way you're going to be able to take advantage of the open map, you're going to be able to put pressure is by going for mobile units. So it's going to be scouts from both. Anyway, here it's gonna be the first one to get the extra scouts out. The Viper's got the defense advantage, however. Where's the OG scout from the Viper, by the way? On the right hand side, full HP. Alright, 3 scouts for Hera. Defense advantage should allow the Viper to match up the scout count, even if taking a little bit longer to get the units out. There we go. Yeah, and the Viper's fine. He's going for the quick walls around the Lumberjacks. We'll see an engagement take place right now. The Viper's got a heal advantage over there with the Spearman from Hera. Pushes the Viper away. The Spearman from the Viper pushes Hera away. It's got the highest HP pool over here. 108, 113. It's gonna try and take on the foragers, but the Viper already has the Spearman over here. The preemptive play from the Viper as well. He brought the Spearman right to the berry bushes right away. That was well played. But Hera's gonna try to get the snipe going anyway. Not quite though. The Spearman closes the gap quite quickly. And the quick walls do come out for the Viper over here in Hera. You cannot do too much over here anymore. Takes one free hit though. Not great. And the Viper's going for the counter push himself. He does have the scouts. And the Spearman for Hera is out of position. So the Viper might be the first one to get access to the snipe over here. Not quite. The Spearman's still here from Hera though. And both these guys just trying to get the Hera snipes going. One of these players is going to be responsible for the meme name, of course. The other player is also going to be capable of getting it. For the time being, doesn't seem like anybody's going to get a single villager pick. Viper did get a lot of extra TC time over here. This is not ideal and has reduced his villager lead from 2 to only 1 extra work. Now that is not great though. 1 free hit from the Viper Spearman onto the scout. Onto 1 KD right now. And the Viper's not going for aggression over here anymore. This is also a little bit of a byproduct of, yeah, Hera's unit control over here and reputation as well. I feel like Viper's gotta respect the potential for the Hera snipes over here. He's gonna choose to play more defensively over here, especially yes, after he's tried to go aggressive already. He's been completely unable to get any damage done. All right. Hera's roaming around still. Doesn't really have too many scouts left forward. And the Viper's quick walls are coming in just in time. Well done. And this Pentomer is going to be a play for the Castle Age. And one of the things that the Hindustanis allow you to do is get the resources to go up to the Castle Age a lot faster. Viper, to be fair, he is spending a lot of resources going for Wheelbarrow and going for Bloodlines. But so long as both players produce the same amount of villagers, the Hindustanis get ahead in economy simply by the discount civilization gets for villagers. Now Viper's looking stronger though. He's got Bloodlines right now. Can try and take the engagement, but it's not going to be the case just yet. Hey, Subatero. Hey. What a final? Yes. Viper struggling to scrapping out resources to go out to the Castle Age, while here on the other hand, he's already on his way up. Viper's taking longer. He has gone for Fortune right now. And he was going for Scale by the number. He cancelled it. Let's see. I think he's still on one stable only, right? He's got 9 scouts over here. That is not a lot. That is not a lot. And going for all these upgrades is not cheap for the Viper whatsoever. So it's going to try to break through. See the Spearman coming over from the Viper as well. Hera probably taking too long to come in. He's waiting for the scouts to come over, and the Viper and Spearman over here are going to absolutely change the game. There's going to be a lot of damage. The Viper should be able to get away with a lot of kills over here. He's going to try to get this round going against the villagers. He will find 2, 3 villagers going down. Make that 4, make that 5 villagers going down. It's going to be 5 villagers down total for Hera. And he is on his way to the Castle Age. But the Viper's gotten a lot of damage done already. It might be worth it. The Viper's going up to the Castle Age right now as well. And that was an incredible play from the Viper. The Spearman completely changed the game. If he had come in with scouts alone, Hera cleans that up easily. But Hera brought the Spearman, the Viper brought the Spearman over. Was able to get a much better trade because of it, and does get away. Some nice villager picks over here. Scale bar the numbers on the way now for Hera as well. Light Cavalry's got 6 scouts left. The Viper's trying to get the walls up around his resources here. It's still gonna take a minute for the Viper to get to the Castle Age himself. He's ahead by 8 workers. By the time he gets to the Castle Age, that should still be about 5 to 4 additional workers for the Viper. And Hera's gonna try and mitigate for that. It's going for the second TC already. There we go. Remember guys, every time that a villager is produced for the Hindustanis, they do save resources compared to the same villager production amount for other civilizations. Yes, sir. Castle Age is here for the Viper. That was such a huge mistake. Yeah, Hera can't be too happy about the way things went over there. Now the Viper did not take a single bit of damage over here. Hera spent the resource to go for Bloodline. Scale bar than our 14 Light Cavalry, right? And he had nothing to show for it. The Viper, on the other hand, of course, we have this to show for the snack. And Hera, well, Hera's caught up in work account. With the Viper second TC coming up, the work account at the very least should remain the same from both these guys. Gotta keep in mind the fact that the Viper does have, however, Wheelbarrow, which Hera doesn't have. Yeah, and a defensive siege workshop for Hera. Oh, okay. So he saw the archer ranges, and he is expecting to see archers coming over, but going for a preemptive defensive mangle as opposed to trying to go for an extra TC first or something. I think it was probably expecting the archers to already be on their way forward, right? And the Viper actually only now has the archers come out. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. Hero's just trying to get the defense up to have them ready by the time the Viper comes here, as opposed to having to react to it, right? But I don't know, it seems kind of awkward. 30 is on the way for the Viper, not so much for Hera. If Hera just repairs or builds houses behind, there is no engagement. The thing is, Hera wanted to take the engagement because until the Viper brought the Spearman over, Hera was looking better. He was waiting for the scouts to breach through to come in and swoop them. But when the Spearman came over from the Viper, that kind of ruined Hera's plans, and I think that was kind of late for him to try and go for houses behind it because the gate was already too low HP. Which is why I was praising Viper's decision over there. Then run with the villagers? Yeah, I mean, he could try, right, to run, but the Viper scouts were there. It would still have resulted in a bunch of villagers going down. Maybe not all villagers, but I can understand at the very least Hera's logic, right? Good unit control for the Viper. Here you are. This village is not worth an otherwise 60-40 engagement. Well, hindsight's 2020, right? He could have done 1,000 different things in this game. In the end, he had to make a decision in the moment, and yeah, hard to blame for not making the optimal one. It is, however, going to come at a cost, of course. No mistake goes unpunished at this level, as we have two of the strongest Age of Empires ever. That is going to result in a pretty big punishment. Let's take a look. Getting control over here for the Vipers. Good. Won't be able to get the mangle down. He does get the mangle down, actually. There's another one left over there. Yeah, and a second wave of crossbows on the left-hand side. Underneath the TC, underneath the tower, sorry, will end up taking 2 villagers. They are getting surrounded right now. Yeah, and they're getting cleaned up. The Viper's starting to pull a significant lead, guys. This is Hera's last home map. Mangonel will not be the thing to clean up the crossbows. In the end, it's going to be like cavalry. But the Viper's in a fantastic spot. He's gotten a hit by a lot in working count. Already has 15 extra workers. Hera's going for the 3rd and 4th TCs. Military count still looking stronger for the Viper, even if he ends up getting cleaned up over here, and he does. He's gonna have extra crossbows. Elsewhere, he's gonna try and cook a next, a new push. Actually, he's already sending 10 crossbows on the left-hand side, and he's preparing the next wave. There we are. Some villagers going down. And the Viper doesn't have ballistics. With ballistics, these crossbows pushes. Yeah, these crossbow pushes will be so much deadlier as well. Does he have a university, actually? I think he might not have one. Yeah, he doesn't have a university, so it's just going to be all dependent on good unit control for Hera and how much attention the Viper's paying to his own crossbows too. So anyway, the Viper feels like the moths in my house. Just when you think you've gotten rid of them, he shows up once again. And the Viper's gonna start going for some camels into the mix. Crossbows and camels, looking good. There we go. These crossbows are going to get cleaned up once again. The Viper's probably better off just trying to trade for villagers over here. Really, he won't be able to do too much against light cavalry. But he's got once again new units coming over from the right hand side. Should be able to take the manual down. Yeah, good unit control, right? Now we have camels from Hera. So, full cavalry for Hera, and that's been the case forever, but the Viper's gonna start adding camels over here. The thing is, Hera's camels are so much stronger, but the Viper does not want his camels to beat Hera's camels. He just needs some meat shield. These camels from the yellow player will take the light cavalry from Hera down pretty easily, and they will provide the meat shield that the crossbows from the Viper need to take on the camels. So, here comes the Viper. He's gotta be careful. There's a hail advantage over here for Hera still, so while he is looking stronger for the time being, the Viper cannot overextend over here. Good job from Hera though. He's been able to kind of close the gap a little bit now. The Viper's going for the 5th and 6th TCs in the valley, and Hera's still on 4 TCs only. But yeah, he's been able to catch up a little bit. Where's Hera with economy? Just on top of the Acropolis. He's collecting from here. From here. To be fair, doesn't really have too many lumberjacks, and compared to the Viper, his wood economy is not looking anywhere near as strong, although the Viper is at this point kind of floating resources, to be fair. Castle coming up for Hera, right next to the neutral gold. Well, it is good. It is good. But the Viper is gonna try and get the push going on the right-hand side. Hera is looking threatening around the center, so the Viper is prompted into bringing the units back. And here comes the engagement, and this is what I was talking about. It's all about the meat shield, but that's not enough crosses, I feel like. Seems like Hera should be able to get a better engagement over here, but it's hard to tell. The unit got tired for the Viper. Yeah, but he's getting cleaned up over here. Anyway, where are the rest of the units? That is not the entirety of Viper's army, and I don't know where the rest of the units are. That was actually the entirety of Viper's army. It seemed in practice over here a lot smaller than the number suggested over there, and I think it's probably just because the crossbows not being quite as large visually. Defensive castle coming up for the Viper. And that is the reason he was not going for too many extra units. He was scraping enough resources to get it to click up to the Imperial Age. Now, the Viper is still ahead by 1 worker compared to Hera. He's gonna be on his way to the Imperial Age, and Hera should be making a play for the Imperial Age himself as well. He's going to. It's getting very close to it, and Viper's got extra barracks on the way. The castle's coming up, and what is this going to be from the Viper? Halberdier and trebuchets? Well, the Chinese don't get bombard cannons, so he cannot go for that. And the Senators do get bombard cannons, though. So I guess, yeah, probably Trebs, right? So Halberdier, Trebs. Is he going to add monks into the mix? He's got a monastery, but the amount of units that we see from Hera is too high for the Viper to really try to make a play for monks right now. Especially in the Imperial Age, it's going to be too hard to make good use of the units, so could be Halberdier Arbalesters. Yes, he's going for crosses right now as well. Halberdier Arbalesters, trebuchets. And it should be good, right? Should be good pretty much against anything that Hera's got to work with. The Arbalesters will take care of hand cannoneer. The Halberdier are going to take care of pretty much everything else. I guess Arbalesters and Halberdier can go down to Gulam, though. Hera does have 2 castles, so it's going to be an option. And the Viper? Yeah, the Viper's going for Chicken. Chickenus are going to be better. Against Gulam or any high pierce armor units, the extra projectiles are going to get a little bit of extra damage down, so could potentially work out. But definitely not ideal. Alternatively, you can go for the light cavalry as well, yeah. That's another option. If he gets a meat shield for the Gulam, then Halberdier, light cavalry and the Arbalesters should work. Trebuchet is already on the way for the Viper as he gets to the Imperial Age right away, and Hera still 45 seconds away from the Imperial Age himself. He does have 2 castles, however, so losing this one is not going to be the worst thing in the world. It's definitely going to provide the Viper with an opportunity to push the villagers away from gold and wood from Hera, though. So we'll see. I thought we were going to see chicken news. It's going to be just like cavalry. I think it's good. I think it's good. Our ballista's coming up right now. No halberdier yet. Chain, barred and armor on the way for the Viper. Blast Furnace. He's gonna start getting some raids going over here. It's not too strong, just 2 like cavalry, but he's getting a lot of damage done. Once he gets Blast Furnace as well, these villages will go down so much faster as well. Trebuchet is under a lot of pressure, and while we do have Elite Golem coming out for Hera, we were expecting to see this from the Bull player. The Viper should still have the option to go for either Chicken News or Light Cavalry, and Light Cavalry seems like it's going to be the unit of choice for the Viper. Yes, sir. Nice cleanup though for Hera, not particularly close. Arbalistus on the right hand side. And going to get cleaned out by the Golem as well. So this is what Hera needs to go for against Halberdier and Arbalisters. The Viper needs the meat shield. He's got like cavalry right now. He's got extra Arbalisters coming out. No Halberdier yet. Play Broad and Armor in the way instead. But the castle crumbles from Hera. And now the Viper's gonna get access to the center of Hera's Acropolis over here if he starts moving forward. He's gonna try and make a play for the south though. Hera did get another castle up here. Can go for Golem and the Viper destroys each and every castle fast enough. Yeah, and that's what he should be aiming for. And now we see another raid coming up. And the Viper's been getting away with so much damage throughout the game. 31 eco kills, make that 34. Make that 35 and it's not going to be the end of it. So many villagers. Bloody parade. For Hera. The Viper continues going for push. Further forward, he's bringing the trebuchets down so that he can take the castle down next, the TC down next, right? We do have a good amount of golem for Hera. He's trying to mass the units up. Viper on the other hand is going to go for Cavalier. He's going to try and make a play for that unit. Right now he doesn't really have enough population space to really go for much or anything. So we have Halberdier Arbalisters for the most part for the Viper. And then he's got Sound Like Cavalry. And here come the Golem. Viper needs to bring the Like Cavalry back. He's got the Halberdier over here, but it seems like he's just gonna try to get the rage going. You know, after all, if they go and clean out the units from the Viper, it doesn't matter. The Viper is still the one getting the more villager kills over here anyway. Because the Viper can replenish the military units very easily, but every villager that the Viper gets over here is going to hurt so much more for Hera, right? It's going to be a much pricier loss, and that is once again a complete slaughterhouse underneath the TC from Hera, losing 66 villagers so far this game. And up in the north, there is a Hussar raid coming out from here, and the Viper seems to realize he's paying attention, guys, everywhere. Snake's looking in shape, although he does go down in population very, very much so. It's going to allow him to start going for Cavalier, mind you, so if he can get a good amount of units out, then the Golem won't be quite as effective anymore, and it seems like he's aiming for that. Yeah, he's shooting for the Cavalier army. Meanwhile, Hera's got Camel still. He's reacting to the Cavalier play by going for a heavy Camel Rider. Viper on the other hand has got more Halberdier, more Arbalisters coming out. He's got exactly twice the amount of eco kills compared to Hera. But he was unable to get the castle down, right? And he ended up losing the trebuchets, so he's got more trebuchets in the way only from now. Right hand side. Well, the Golem will go down if they are just getting trickle like this. They are just sending, yeah, if Hera's just sending one at a time, now he's sending a stronger army. Doesn't need this many, probably 4 is going to be enough. And then the rest he could potentially have sent over to try and raid, or maybe take these units down from the Viper before they become an issue. And that's a good point as well. The Viper is getting another castle up on the right hand side, and between the castle and the TCs, Viper's economy is extremely well protected. You take a look at this and you tell me it's so well protected for him. Here's critical point, 70 on foot. Gotta hate those Hussar rates. We'll see. He's gonna start queuing the Hussar, yes. And the Viper still on the juggling to get to 200 populations. Gathering Archer Armor coming up. Doing a really good job against the Hussar alone with Arbalesters and a few Halberdier over here, so that's good. The Viper's raids are coming up once again. Halberdier, the Cavalier. Here's economy is a little bit stronger right now in villager count, but he needs the numbers as well. Once again, if he takes a bunch of villager losses over here, he won't really have the means to sustain the Hussar production, right? And Hera needs to win. Hera needs to win all 3 remaining games back to back to back in order to take the series over here. There are no second chances over here, actually. There are no 5th chances for Hera. He has to win all 3 remaining games. The Viper loses this one. He still has a fantastic civilization for Arena. He still has a fantastic civilization for Fortress. And Hera not so much. Does the Viper have Thumb Ring? Viper's got Thumb Ring, yes. These are fully upgraded Arbalistas at this point. Yeah, he's got the complete blacksmith, as a matter of fact. He's researched everything. Here on the other hand, not quite. To be fair though, the upgrades that he's missing are going to be only impactful for skirmishers, which he's not thinking of going for right now. It's going to be mainly gold units for Hera still. There's a lot of units coming up from Hera. He might be able to get a clean up over here. There's good unit control as well. Hera's targeting the Halberdier with a Gulam. And then we don't have too many Halberdier over here left for the Viper to try and take on the cavalry units from Hera. So Viper's just trying to go back towards his production buildings, towards his castle, and it seems to me like he's probably going to end up cleaning this up eventually, but both players are going to take a lot of losses. Right hand side, the raid's coming in from the Viper though still. Hera down to 130 to 31 villages over here, still looking better compared to the Viper, but overall has lost over 100 workers throughout the game. He's lost over twice as many units compared to the Viper still. There's the reinforcements coming from the Viper, and then the engagement starts favoring the yellow player. Yeah, big race everywhere. The extra villages going down over here to the one Arbalister from the Viper. How good is this value? Like we are getting straight to the wall line, and there is a pause. And who is pausing this? It's going to be paused by Hera. He's gotta be just scratching his head right now, and like strategic pause, right? There is a pause. Strategic pause over here, trying to figure out how to best move forward with this game. The Viper's rates are looking very good. And now we see, now we see the game continuing. Viper's trying to get to the back of Hera's base as well. Maybe he's checking the tech tree? Maybe? I don't know what else he could potentially go for that he doesn't know if the Hindustan is get. And the Viper's gonna start streaming the unit straight into Hera's economy. The castles from the Wool player, they are on the right hand side, on the left hand side, very far away, and they are not really protecting the bulk of his economy over here. All the farmers will potentially still be exposed over here. As long as the Viper's able to get a good trade, right? Halberdier, the Cavalier, he's got a little bit of everything, a little bit of an AI army over here from the Viper. Like Cavalry, Cavalier, Halberdier, Arbalisters. Now Tutorial is on the way, so we see a surround coming in from Hera right now, and the Viper, it seems like he's going to get pushed away. At the very least, does not seem to be interested in taking the engagement with the Cavalier because of the camels over there, but he might still end up coming out on top. The Halberdier and the Arbalisters, they are doing so much damage, and Hera will end up losing the majority of the units, while the Viper was going for the trebuchet to take the castle down on the right-hand side, and just by chance, it's gonna have the trebuchets to take the foundation down from Hera right away, and the Bull player is gonna feel the pain over here. With the extra halberdier, the Viper will take the cavalry units down from Hera. And this castle, it's not going up, and if it goes up, it's going to go up in flames, and Hera calls the GG as the Viper gets a not-so-close victory in the grand final of T90 Titans League with a final score of 4-1. The best 7 goes in favor of the Snake. The king of Age of Empires goes back straight into his throne. Hera is unfortunately not going to contest the title anymore. Let's take a look at the engagements. Actually, the engagements. Let's take a look at the achievements. We've been taking a look at the engagements for the last 10 minutes. We see a better KD for Hera by a lot, but it did not matter. The economy for the Viper more than offset for the 9,000, close to 9,000 extra resources, more like 8,000 extra resources. Society looking better for Hera by a little bit for the villager max count, but he did take the most losses with 126 villagers going down. Meanwhile, for the Viper, he ended up losing about 47 villagers over there, if I'm not mistaken. Quick maths, sorry, I'm not getting those right, but yeah, absolutely amazing performance for the Viper over here. Not particularly close final, and Hera goes down.
All right, we got Dave back.
I'm here.
And there is the Snake. Viper, how's
Oh.
it feel to be Season 2 champion, my friend?
Tiring.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, that's all you have to say?
It's hard, man. Like yesterday, all the rounds now, you really have to work for these wins. Against Jordan was obviously super tight. Tato, even though it was 4-1, he really made me work for some of those. And today as well, 4-1 is not an indicator of the reality of the games, right? He made me work for it on most of those games.
Yeah, we'll break through it. We won't take too much of your time. Believe me, the level that everyone's played at in the playoffs, I can understand the exhaustion. You went through your teammates to get here to the final. Hera hyped up for good reason. Hera obviously brings insane aggression, typically. So what were your thoughts on the series coming into this?
I don't think I agree with what you're saying. Hera brings insane aggression. He's more of a macro. He takes aggression when he finds it, but doesn't necessarily strike me as an aggressive player compared to, for example, Lyri, right?
Okay.
Sorry, what was the question?
I disagree with you, T90, but I don't remember what your initial question.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Now the focus. What was the question?
No. My question was, like, what were your thoughts coming into the series? Like, anything in general.
Not much. Obviously knowing that Hera is an insanely good player. Just coming in, try to get a good draft, try to play well, and hopefully get some good RNG in some maps, like Nomad, for example. And yeah, I mean, you can't really think too much because you start thinking about every single outcome or possibility or whatever. I think it's more worse for you rather than if you just enter with
a clear mindset,
kind of chill. Yeah.
So
Viper, sorry to interrupt, Dave. Viper, is it possible you could boost yourself on your end just by like 20%?
I don't think it's possible. I have everything on max.
Okay, you just got louder.
Yeah, because I'm eating the microphone and yelling right now.
Okay,
Is that better?
Keep eating the microphone. Dave, go ahead.
Viper, what happened game 1? Take me through the start to get. You don't have to yell at me, all right? You just yell at him.
Oh,
okay?
You hear me fine? Okay.
I have you boosted at 200, so
so do I.
Gucci. Yeah.
All right, game 1. Obviously, first game of the day, tendencies. Macro wasn't on point. But yeah, the scouts really caught me off guard. I only noticed them when they were already killing like 3-4 bills. And I was like, oh, well. So yeah, I probably should have walled my base completely just in case, because he was Mongols. It was clear. I also wasted my scout there, so I didn't have information. Like I picked up one villager with my scout, and I should have just stayed around in his base, look around, see what's happening. But I wasted it, so I had no information and kind of assumed that he would do something else. And then the scouts came in and they surprised me, and yeah, it was an uphill battle from there.
Why did you never attempt to go for the gold in the south?
I scouted what he had on the top, and I was like, that's probably not his main, because I thought he didn't have that much up there. So I thought he was already at the bottom, and the top was like his secondary. So I figured I have to push the top. But yeah, in hindsight, I should have scouted the bottom, obviously, and should have gone there. I went there a little bit too late.
Well, game 2, Viper, obviously frustrated to lose the first game, but you know it's going to be a long series. Did you expect Terra to open the way he did, or the way he attempted to open, or was that just good heads-up play to spot his villager docking your pond?
Game tools cross. Yeah, I mean, it's Persians. Persians are great for docking in the enemy lake, right? Because you have double the HP and work faster, so you can kind of win the lake almost with one dock. Obviously, I was aware that he might sneak, so I was always going to scout for it. But the fact that I found him in the middle of the map was obviously very fortunate. And then from that, it kind of played out perfectly. I could dock his pond, deny him docking my pond, and play from there. But even that game, like Hera just makes so many units, and like if you make 1 or 2 mistakes in games like that, Hera will suddenly snowball that into a really scary position.
Yeah, it felt like, from my assessment of the situation, it felt like you really respected that too. Because I think in a lot of instances, when you have that much success on water, you might just go Castle Age against other players. But you made like a ton of feudal army there.
Yeah, I think a ton of feudal army just to make sure he also has to make something, and then wall at my base was the key. From there, I feel like, okay, as soon as I can trade a little bit with his army, I can go to Castle Age, and that's exactly what happened. But even then, right, I think he took one bad fight where he fought like I had like 4 knights in the middle, and he took a fight against them. I think that was a mistake from him. But yeah, otherwise, like again, 2 or 3 mistakes from me there, and it could easily snowball.
Okay.
So game 3 was Arabia, right? I think it was
Yep.
Arabia. That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
At what point did you realize that you had kind of made the comeback from the corner?
Well, I don't know. I didn't feel like I was behind the whole game. I'm not sure what the villager count was because I kept trading army for villagers to a certain extent. So I wasn't sure how the eco looked like. Maybe you can tell me.
Well, he had the advantage to Imperial Age. You had a lot of vills, but he was still at like 120 or something like that. I think you were at 130.
Okay.
But he had imp on you, so that's why it seemed like super far ahead, right? With that forward castle.
Okay. I didn't think he had 120 vills. So I wasn't like, I was still kind of feeling okay because I was like, okay, I just need to make pikemen because his transition looks to be cavalier. Because I saw him adding even more stables. So it was like trebs and cavalier. Okay, well, if I can just buy time with pikemen and then get to imp, because I still had 2 full golds to mine in the back of my base or in the corner, then I could maybe make a halberdier eagle play and make a comeback because that's also a composition that is really hard to stop for the Khmer. And yeah, it kind of worked out. I mean, the raids never really killed villagers, right? So I always felt like I was kind of okay. But yeah, obviously, I didn't feel like I was ahead, but I felt like I had a fighting chance.
I mean, it's you also remember from our perspective too. We see Hera with 75 farms,
Yeah,
and defensive castles, and we're just
Makes
like,
sense.
well, you know, this could be really tricky for Viper right now.
Yeah.
I have a really specific question from earlier on in that game.
Mhm.
You took an engagement. You moved out, right, against Hera's scouts and skirms. Did you expect that he was like going to hit Castle Age shortly? Did you intentionally take that engagement to trade against his army, or did you like get caught out there and realize I might as well take the fight? Like, what was your logic with that, with moving out there and then taking that fight, if you remember?
I thought it was only with the Castle Age, but I did like armor and attack upgrades on my infantry. So I was like, I need to try and force a fight a little bit here. And I honestly thought I would trade better than I did.
Okay.
But in the end, I still think the trade was somewhat okay because he lost a lot of his scouts. So in the end, I felt like after that, I was still not too unhappy with the trade, but obviously I wish I traded better than I thought I would trade better.
Okay, I was just curious because like it feels like when you're up against Hera, if he hasn't taken eco damage and he has 8 to 10 light cav, he's just going to run circles around you with those light cav.
Yeah.
So I was curious if you were forcing a trade before castle. Seems like almost like I thought in the moment while casting it that you just thought that the fight would be better in general.
Yeah, I did so. And of course, I'm aware Hera loves to play light cavalry, run around your farm, snipe villagers, whatever, find damage wherever he can. And
Yeah.
that's obviously one of his strengths that I'm very much aware of. He's obviously a very quick player. So sometimes you take some fights or decisions that might not normally take, but considering that it was Hera, maybe it was actually good.
Okay, gotcha.
Nomad, you did a really good job with the forward dock and everything. Obviously, you didn't notice initially the dock in the lake, which must have been pretty frustrating. But I have one question about that game because it's pretty straightforward how that panned out. How good did it feel to take that relic after you chopped it out of the wood line?
Oh god, dude.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah, man. I tried to get it earlier, right? And I couldn't get it. I was pretty sad. So the forward castle was not to push him, it was to secure the relic. Obviously kidding, but yeah, no, Nomad was like, you cannot ask for a better start from Alliance, right?
Yeah.
3 wheels kind of next to each other. The dock had 2 deep fish right next to it. And then I scouted his dock as well immediately. It was like, that was the absolute perfect Nomad game you can expect with Malians. And obviously not finding his fish in the middle was a bit, I thought he actually abandoned water when he saw how close I was. So I was like, I killed 3 fish and chips. I was like, maybe he just didn't add more. But yeah, as I realized I missed those fish, that would have helped a lot to take those out earlier as well.
Yeah, it was you were one tile off, right? It was like
Yeah.
one of those things with how bad the start had gone for Hera, because you do need to rely on a bit more spacing, I think, with your fish if you're Spanish. It kind of kept him in that game, and he did a really good job, obviously, but you took the control there.
Yep.
Final game, Viper, Acropolis. I kind of a two-parter here. Were you initially thinking that you were going to use Chinese on Acropolis when you had Regicide Fortress as a possible home map? And how do you like if you had to choose between Chinese or Hindustanis, obviously forgetting the result, how do you see that particular matchup going in terms of like which civ you prefer?
Yeah, so I always planned to use Chinese on Acropolis. It was either
Okay.
Acropolis or Arabia. But yeah, Acropolis was the plan. I would use Pulse on Regicide Fortress.
Ooh.
Because he will have humans there. And I was thinking because you already start with a castle, right? So if you get that farming going, you can do that unique tech and just spam knights forever, right?
Yeah.
And that should be able to hold the cumin. At least that was my mind like thought process. Obviously we didn't get to see how it played out, but yeah. Chinese, Hindustanis, I think I prefer Chinese still. They're just insanely good in general, right? You can do whatever you want in terms of tech. But yeah, obviously Hera, I thought I had such a big lead when I killed those bills in the woodline and whatnot, but I wasn't sure about his follow-up. So apparently he just added 2 and 3 and 4 town centers. So I could have been more aggressive probably early on with my crossbows. But I just wanted to play it safe after I killed all those bills in his woodline. But yeah, at the same time, I feel like I did decent damage, but yeah, once he got those camels and light cav rolling, it started to become quite scary. And I was definitely worried about Gulam switch, but I think taking it to Cavalier was a correct decision for me. And I still felt like I had plenty of map control, and his gold must be suffering because he was making so many camels and then Gulam as well. And I was just hoping I could like slowly trade off. And my game plan there was pretty much to play for wood control, actually, because I didn't feel like I could break him through the middle. So it was like raid and play for wood control was kind of the plan.
What do you think? You and Hera are both known for your really great super late game play, right? What do you think the difference is, like stylistically, between the two of you and how you go about it?
I haven't really thought about that before. Let me think.
A question
maybe
Viper hasn't been asked in an interview. Oh my god, I'm done.
You've done it.
Stylistically different. I think Hera last couple of years has become a lot more similar to me in Imperial Age compared to before. He places like safe castles, map control, gets his farm eco and raids. Maybe his focus is a little bit more on that aspect of just like getting that farm eco and start spamming raiding units. While I might be more about position, like take secure areas and whatnot, and then take it from there. I don't know. I think our Imperial Age is probably quite similar.
Okay.
So Viper, this whole format, right? Obviously, you just won the final and everything, and I'm happy to see you played so well. But the whole format's kind of designed around rotational leagues, promotion, relegation, something that you're very familiar with Premier League, and we saw, per my assessment, 5 players get relegated out of platinum and go down to gold for the next season. So, what do you think that like this type of system does for the competitive scene? What do you think that even means that 5 players like Nikov, Vinchester, MBL, Kapoch, Citeaux, those are the 5 I was thinking of, have been pushed out? What does that say about competitive AW2?
Well, I mean, it goes without saying when the winner of last season is relegated to Gold League in season 2. That's like you can never imagine. Like if you brought football into this, right? Imagine Manchester City gets relegated, right? It's unthinkable.
Yeah.
No, it just speaks volumes to how strong the level is now. I think everyone is universal. Like everyone agrees that the level is probably now the closest it's been forever. There's so many players that can win tournaments. We see so many different winners as well, right? Winchester, ACCM, obviously Leary, Hera, the usual, right? And you always have these people like, even though he's a bit of a pleb, like Doubt can still do well, right? He won Red Bull not too long ago. So there's so many good players now, and there's so many outsiders to win tournaments and be able to knock out these top favorites more often than before. And I think that is also extremely healthy for the scene. And a league like this as well goes to show how strong people can be, right? I mean, you see people in Gold League and like you wonder why are they in Gold League, right? He's
Yeah,
such
yeah,
a good
yeah.
player, right? So like Nile, for example.
Well, he's
But
in
yeah,
Silver League now, but
Yeah, I was gonna
Dave,
say he's not
why
in
do you
gold
have to?
anymore.
so it was a
He
good
was,
question.
okay. Why did you have to bring that up? Come on, focus on the
One
okay,
game
whatever.
away from second, though. One game away from
Yeah,
second.
That was insane. I think Nile improved a lot.
No, he definitely has. It was just an easy time to make a joke. Wait, so Viper, are you terrified? Are you shaking in your boots that you're going to be
Yeah, man.
relegated down to gold for the next season?
If this is the like how it works, then yes.
Yeah. We'll have a special map script for you.
Dude,
You have to struggle.
Lux has gotten promoted, right?
Yeah, he did.
Uh-oh.
Oh God. Please don't put him in my group, please.
Lix and Vivi. I don't think they would be
Oh,
in the
God.
same group.
They'll
But
both be in my group, I guarantee it.
uh,
If Huang was there, he would be there too.
oh man, that's funny. Well, I guess final question for me. There was it's so funny. There was like a 6-month period with you, man, where people were shocked. I think it was like the period where the level started to rise and there were events all the time, and it was like the first time you weren't winning everything, right? And I know there were some like health concerns at the time then and all these different things. And it seems like now with mixed map tourneys, you've won Warlords, which wasn't that long ago. I forget the exact date. Was that like November or something? I forget.
Yeah.
And now you've won this, which is mixed map. So how do you feel compared to what you think you are capable of as a player? Like, are you 10 out of 10 Viper right now? Do you think you still got some rust to shake off? How do you feel about your ability?
Well, obviously I'm playing pretty well, but like regarding my wrist and everything, I will never know how good I would have been if I didn't have those wrist issues, right? That's
Mhm.
Sure.
There's no point speculating or wondering about that. Or if it has like would I be better, would it be worse? Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm playing well and I'm happy with my level and I'm able to. I mean, for a time there, I was worried that I would have to quit, right? I couldn't
Mhm.
continue doing this. So the fact that I'm just able to continue playing is a big thing in itself, just for me. Like whether I would have dropped my level and been like top 10, top 15 streamer or player, as long as I could continue streaming and doing this, I would still be happy. But I'm very happy that I can still remain competitive.
Well, we're happy you're here, dude. It wouldn't be the same without you. Would not be the same. Feels like the world is the way it should be when you're winning tournaments. So, congratulations, man. It was very impressive. Any words for Jordan? We didn't get to interview you after that set, but that set was absolutely insane. And I know Jordan's a really good friend of yours, and he took you to the limit, dude. He took you to the absolute limit.
Yeah, but I mean, when you have extra boars compared to the opponent.
Okay, well, that's where we're gonna go with this. I was giving you know what? I was giving you an opportunity to gas your friend up, but I guess this is where we're going. Okay.
No, he's already gotten plenty of love for that. I have to point out though, actually, Jordan tweeted today before the set. He tweeted, "Who do you think is going to win?" And he says, "I think Hera is going to win." He said.
He did
was
say
a bit-
that.
Yeah, that was a
Wow.
motivation boost. Like I saw it and I was like, "Okay, Jordy."
Wow.
Okay. So I actually got a bit extra motivation from that. So thank you, Jordan.
Yeah,
First of all, for letting me pass the quarterfinals, but also now, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Maybe that was his way of complimenting Hera and boosting his confidence while also like motivating you at the same time. He motivated two people at the same time.
That sounds like Jordan.
Well, thanks again, Viper, for everything, man. I know there's people are asking about the egg instead of the GG and all types of funny things. I won't waste any more of your time. I really enjoyed watching you, and just to expand on what David said, like it's fun watching a player have like dominance in mixed settings and understanding the small little things in the moment. And you really showed that the last 3 rounds. It was incredible. When you lost the game to Barles, and the group stage, I was like, okay, I'm not sure if Viper's going to destroy everybody, but you just turned it up the notch. It was so fun to watch. Thanks for that.
Thank you. And I mean, I can explain the egg.
Sure.
It's right next to my keyboard on enter. So sometimes I click enter and I click the A letter as well at the same time. Because I don't know, you guys know about my fucked up finger, right? I
Yeah,
don't have
it, like-
control over that thing. So, sometimes it hits things.
Okay, no, that's fine. I think that was pretty explainable. People just like to have fun with that, so
Yeah, I
you
know.
might see a lot of eggs instead of GGs
Yeah,
going
I
forward.
can imagine.
7 out of 10, I guess.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, well, thanks again, man. Thanks for joining. Congratulations.
Congrats, bro.
Let's go! Welcome everyone to game number 5, match point already. We're gonna catch up over here to live gameplay. And here's playing with Hindustanis, the Vipers playing with the Chinese towards the southeast and northwest of the map respectively. Hera. Well, he's got, with this civilization, 10, 15, 20, 25% cheaper villager production from the Dark Age to the Imperial Age. 25% faster attacking camel rider units. Besides that, the Hindustanis will also get +1/+1 armor on gunpowder units, and for the team bonus, camel rider units, like Cavalry and Hussar units, will get 2 bonus damage actually against buildings. Well, the Viper civilization is going to begin with 3 extra villages upon starting the game, at the expense of 200 food and 50 wood. Besides that, the Chinese get 5 extra line of sight and 5 higher population support per TCs, and 10, 15, and 30% cheaper upgrades to the Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages. Team bonus finally will give Viper 10% additional food on farms for free. So we can take a look at the map generation over here. Because of the way that this map works, however, players are very unlikely to go for walls that surround their bases. They're probably just going to end up going for walls that are going to protect individual resources. But it's still very important to take a look at this, because if you take a look, we have 1 gold on the right hand side for Hera, 1 stone on the right hand side, and then we're going to have 1 gold and 1 stone on the left hand side for the blue player. This means that the Viper wouldn't be able to deny all the resources with a single push, because these are kind of split apart, right? We have 1 gold and 1 stone on each side. If you take a look at Viper's map generation, on the other hand, he is going to have both golds on the right hand side. He's going to have both the stones on the left hand side, right? So this means that, and this is very, very unlikely, by the way, but if the blue player were to come with a tower over here, for instance, he will be able to deny both these resources with a single fortification. And this is what I'm talking about. You're not going to be walling yourself completely, for sure. You're going to be walling individual resources. But both these goals are going to be available on the same position, right, for the Viper. So Hera could potentially end up denying both these with either a tower or an archer play or whatever. It's unlikely we're going to see archers, and Hera is going up already on 19 population, so it's going to be a play for scouts. And the Viper on the other hand is going to take a little bit longer to go out to the Fuel Age. It's probably going to be a scout play for him as well. Yes. Predictions are on once again, guys, for who wins game number 5 for the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds. You still have enough time to get your predictions going. Option 1, Hera. Option 2, the Viper. You can use your channel points to predict who you think is going to win. My dinner could be more poorly timed. Might be missing the final game. Enjoy, guys. Oh, on the boy. Well, that'd be kind of bad, right? Coming back from dinner and like the stream is over. But there's always going to be the VOD in any case. 27 seconds is pretty good idle time for the Viper. It's kind of high though. It's usually 22, 23 from what I have seen from the Chinese. The lowest I have seen was like 19. That's when you have like the herdable immediately available. You have it underneath the TC already, but or you can just bring it underneath the TC right away, but like it's whatever. 4 extra seconds is not going to lose the game for the Viper. And as expected, we have the Civil on the way for the yellow player, we have the Civil on the way for the blue player, and it's going to be a play for scouts for both these guys. It's kind of necessary, right? You need to go for this. The mobility is going to be key. Map is very open. and players are very far away, so the only way you're going to be able to take advantage of the open map, you're going to be able to put pressure is by going for mobile units. So it's going to be scouts from both. Anyway, here's gonna be the first one to get the extra scouts out. The Viper's got the defense advantage, however. Where's the OG scout from the Viper, by the way? On the right-hand side. Full HP. Alright. 3 scouts for Hera. Defense advantage should allow the Viper to match up the scout count, even if taking a little bit longer to get the units out. There we go. Yeah, and the Viper's fine. He's going for the quick walls around the Lumberjacks. We'll see an engagement take place right now. The Viper's got a heal advantage over there with the Spearman from Hera. Pushes the Viper away. The Spearman from the Viper pushes Hera away. It's got the highest HP pool over here. 108, 113. It's gonna try and take on the foragers, but the Viper already has the Spearman over here. The preemptive play from the Viper as well. He brought the Spearman right to the berry bushes right away. That was well played. But Hera's gonna try to get the snipe going anyway. Not quite though. The Spearman closes the gap quite quickly. And the quick walls do come out for the Viper over here in Hera. You cannot do too much over here anymore. Takes one free hit though. Not great. And the Viper's going for the counter push himself. He does have the scouts. And the Spearman for Hera is out of position. So the Viper might be the first one to get access to the snipe over here. Not quite. The Spearman's still here from Hera though. And both these guys just trying to get the Hera snipes going. One of these players is going to be responsible for the meme name, of course. The other player is also going to be capable of getting it. For the time being, doesn't seem like anybody's going to get a single villager pick. Viper did get a lot of extra LTC time over here. This is not ideal and has reduced his villager lead from 2 to only 1 extra work. Now that is not great though. 1 free hit from the Viper Spearman onto the scout. Onto 1 KD right now. And the Viper's not going for aggression over here anymore. There's also a little bit of a byproduct of, yeah, Hera's unit control over here and reputation as well. I feel like Viper's gotta respect the potential for the Hera snipes over here. He's gonna choose to play more defensively over here, especially yes, after he's tried to go aggressive already. He's been completely unable to get any damage done. Alright. Hera's roaming around still. Doesn't really have too many scouts left forward. And the Viper's quick walls are coming in just in time. Well done. And this Pentomer is going to be a play for the Castle Age. And one of the things that the Hindustanis allow you to do is get the resources to go up to the Castle Age a lot faster. Viper, to be fair, he is spending a lot of resources going for Wheelbarrow and going for Bloodlines. But so long as both players produce the same amount of villagers, the Hindustanis get ahead in economy simply by the discount civilization gets for villagers. Now Viper's looking stronger though. He's got Bloodlines right now. Can try and take the engagement, but it's not going to be the case just yet. Hey, Subatero. Hey, hey. What a final? Yes. Viper struggling to scrapping out resources to go out to the castle age, while Hero on the other hand, he's already on his way up. For a second longer, he has gone for Fortune right now. He was going for Scale Body Armor. He cancelled it. Let's see. I think he's still on one stable only, right? He's got 9 scouts over here. That is not a lot. That is not a lot. And going for all these upgrades is not cheap for the Viper whatsoever. So it's going to try to break through. See the Spearman coming over from the Viper as well. Hera probably taking too long to come in. He's waiting for the scouts to come over, and the Viper Spearman over here are going to absolutely change the game. There's going to be a lot of damage. The Viper should be able to get away with a lot of kills over here. He's going to try to get this round going against the villagers. He will find 2, 3 villagers going down. Maybe that 4, maybe that 5 villagers going down. It's going to be 5 villagers down total for Hera. And he is on his way to the Castle Age. But the Viper's gotten a lot of damage done already. It might be worth it. The Viper's going up to the Castle Age right now as well. And that was an incredible play from the Viper. The Spearman completely changed the game. If he had come in with scouts alone, Hera cleans that up easily. But Hera brought the Spearman, the Viper brought the Spearman over. Was able to get a much better trade because of it, and does get away. Some nice villager picks over here. Scale Bard and Armor's on the way now for Hera as well. Light Cavalry's got 6 scouts left. The Viper's trying to get the walls up around his resources here. It's still gonna take a minute for the Viper to get to the Castle Age himself. He's ahead by 8 workers. By the time he gets to the Castle Age, that should still be about 5 to 4 additional workers for the Viper. And Hera's gonna try and mitigate for that. It's going for the second TC already. There we go. Remember, guys, every time that a villager is produced for the Hindustanis, they do save resources compared to the same villager production amount for other civilizations. Yes, sir. Castle Age is here for the Viper. That was such a huge mistake. Yeah, Hera can't be too happy about the way things went over there. Now the Viper did not take a single bit of damage over here. Hera spent the resource to go for Bloodline. Scale Bard and our 14 Light Cavalry, right? And he had nothing to show for it. The Viper, on the other hand, of course, we have this to show for the snack. And Hera, well, Hera's caught up in work account. With the Viper, second TC coming up, the work account at the very least should remain the same from both these guys. Gotta keep in mind the fact that the Viper does have, however, Wheelbarrow, which Hera doesn't have. Yeah, and a defensive siege workshop for Hera. Oh, okay. So he saw the archer ranges, and he is expecting to see archers coming over, but going for a preemptive defensive manual as opposed to trying to go for an extra TC first or something. I think it was probably expecting the archers to already be on their way forward, right? And the Viper actually only now has the archers come out. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. Hera's just trying to get the defense up to have them ready by the time the Viper comes here, as opposed to having to react to it, right? But I don't know, it seems kind of awkward. 30 is on the way for the Viper, not so much for Hera. If Hera just repairs or builds houses behind, there is no engagement. The thing is, Hera wanted to take the engagement because until the Viper brought the Spearman over, Hera was looking better. He was waiting for the scouts to breach through to come in and swoop them. But when the Spearman came over from the Viper, that kind of ruined Hera's plans, and I think that was kind of late for him to try and go for houses behind it because the gate was already too low HP. Which is why I was praising Viper's decision over there. Then run with the villagers? Yeah, I mean, he could try, right, to run, but the Viper scouts were there. It would still have resulted in a bunch of villagers going down. Maybe not all, villagers, but I can understand at the very least Hera's logic, right? Good unit control for the Viper. Here you are. This village is not worth an otherwise 60-40 engagement. Well, hindsight's 2020, right? He could have done 1,000 different things in this game. In the end, he had to make a decision in the moment, and yeah, hard to blame for not making the optimal one. It is, however, going to come at a cost, of course. No mistake goes unpunished at this level, as we have two of the strongest Age of Empires ever. That is going to result in a pretty big punishment. Let's take a look. Getting control over here for the Vipers. Good. Won't be able to get the Mangonel down. He does get the Mangonel down, actually. There's another one left over there. Yeah, and a second wave of crossbows on the left-hand side. Underneath the TC, underneath the tower, sorry, will end up taking 2 villagers. They are getting surrounded right now. Yeah, and they're getting cleaned up. The Vipers starting to pull a significant lead, guys. This is Hera's last home map. Mangonel will not be the thing to clean up the crossbows. In the end, it's going to be like cavalry. But the Viper's in a fantastic spot. He's gotten a hit by a lot in working count. Already has 15 extra workers. Hera's going for the 3rd and 4th TCs. Military count still looking stronger for the Viper, even if he ends up getting cleaned up over here, and he does. He's gonna have extra crossbows. Elsewhere, he's gonna try and cook a next, a new push. Actually, he's already sending 10 crossbows on the left-hand side, and he's preparing the next wave. There we are. Some villagers going down. And the Viper doesn't have ballistics. With ballistics, these crossbows pushes. Yeah, these crossbow pushes will be so much deadlier as well. Does he have a university, actually? I think he might not have one. Yeah, he doesn't have a university, so it's just going to be all dependent on good unit control for Hera and how much attention the Viper's paying to his own crossbows too. So anyway, the Viper feels like the moths in my house. Just when you think you've gotten rid of them, he shows up once again. And the Viper's gonna start going for some camels into the mix. Crossbows and camels, looking good. There we go. These crossbows are going to get cleaned up once again. The Viper's probably better off just trying to trade for villagers over here. Really, he won't be able to do too much against light cavalry. But he's got once again new units coming over from the right hand side. Should be able to take the Mangonel down. Yeah, good unit control, right? Now we have camels from Hera. So, full cavalry for Hera, and that's been the case forever, but the Viper's gonna start adding camels over here. The thing is, Hera's camels are so much stronger, but the Viper does not want his camels to beat Hera's camels. He just needs a meat shield. These camels from the yellow player will take the light cavalry from Hera down pretty easily, and they will provide the meat shield that the crossbows from the Viper need to take on the camels. So, here comes the Viper. He's gotta be careful. There's a hill advantage over here for Hera still. So while he is looking stronger for the time being, the Viper cannot overextend over here. Good job from Hera though. He's been able to kind of close the gap a little bit now. The Viper's going for the 5th and 6th TCs in the valley, and Hera's still on 4 TCs only. But yeah, he's been able to catch up a little bit. Where's Hera with economy? Just on top of the Acropolis. It's collecting from here. From here. To be fair, doesn't really have too many lumberjacks, and compared to the Viper, his wood economy is not looking anywhere near as strong, although the Viper is at this point kind of floating resources, to be fair. Cast coming out for Hera, right next to the neutral gold. Well, it is good. It is good. But the Viper is going to try and get the push going on the right-hand side. Hera is looking threatening around the center, so the Viper is prompted into bringing the units back. And here comes the engagement, and this is what I was talking about. It's all about the meat shield, but that's not enough crosses, I feel like. Seems like Hera should be able to get a better engagement over here, but it's hard to tell. The unit comes tired for the Viper. Yeah, but he's getting cleaned up over here. Anyway, where are the rest of the units? That is not the entirety of Viper's army, and I don't know where the rest of the units are. That was actually the entirety of Viper's army. It seemed, in practice over here, a lot smaller than the number suggested over there, and I think it's probably just because the crossbows not being quite as large visually. Defensive cast coming out for the Viper. And that is the reason he was not going for too many extra units. He was scraping enough resources to get it to click up to the Imperial H. Now, the Viper is still ahead by one worker compared to Hera. He's gonna be on his way to the Imperial H, and Hera should be making a play for the Imperial H himself as well. He's going to. It's getting very close to it, and Viper's got extra barracks on the way. The castle's coming up, and what is this going to be from the Viper? Halberdier and trebuchets? Well, the Chinese don't get bombard cannons, so he cannot go for that. And the Senators do get bombard cannons, though. So I guess, yeah, probably Trebs, right? So Halberdier, Trebs. Is he going to add monks into the mix? He's got a monastery, but the amount of units that we see from Hera is too high for the Viper to really try to make a play for monks right now. Especially in the Imperial Age, it's going to be too hard to make good use of the units. So, could be Halberdier Arbalesters. Yes, he's going for crosses right now as well. Halberdier Arbalesters, trebuchets. And it should be good, right? Should be good pretty much against anything that Hera's got to work with. The Arbalesters will take care of hand cannoneer. The Halberdier are going to take care of pretty much everything else. I guess Arbalesters and Halberdier can go down to Gulam, though. Hera does have 2 castles, so it's going to be an option. And the Viper? Yeah, the Viper's going for Chicken. Chickenus are going to be better. Against Gulam or any high pierce armor units, the extra projectiles are going to get a little bit of extra damage down, so could potentially work out. But definitely not ideal. Alternatively, you can go for the light cavalry as well, yeah. That's another option. If he gets a meat shield for the Gulam, then Halberdier, light cavalry and the Arbalesters should work. Trebuchet is already on the way for the Viper as he gets to the Imperial Age right away, and Hera still 45 seconds away from the Imperial Age himself. He does have 2 castles, however, so losing this one is not going to be the worst thing in the world. It's definitely going to provide the Viper with an opportunity to push the villagers away from gold and wood from Hera, though. So we'll see. I thought we were going to see Chicken News. It's going to be just like cavalry. I think it's good. I think it's good. Arbalesters coming up right now. No Halberdier yet. Chain, Bard, and armor on the way for the Viper. Blast Furnace. He's going to start getting some raids going over here. It's not too strong, just 2 light cavalry, but he's getting a lot of damage down. Once he gets Blast Furnace as well, these villages will go down so much faster as well. Trebuchet is under a lot of pressure, and while we do have Elite Gulam coming out for Hera, we weren't expecting to see this from the Bull player. The Viper should still have the option to go for either Chicken News or Light Cavalry, and Light Cavalry seems like it's going to be the unit of choice for the Viper. Yes, sir. Nice cleanup though for Hera, not particularly close. Arbalesters on the right hand side. And going to get cleaned out by the Gulam as well. So this is what Hera needs to go for against Halberdier and Arbalesters. The Viper needs the meat shield. He's got like cavalry right now. He's got extra Arbalesters coming out. No halberdier yet. Play Brought Armor in the way instead. But the castle crumbles from Hera. And now the Viper. Viper's gonna get access to the center of Hera's Acropolis over here if he starts moving forward. He's gonna try and make a play for the south though. Hera did get another castle up here. Can go for goal and the Viper destroys each and every castle fast enough. Yeah, and that's what he should be aiming for. And now we see another raid coming up. And the Viper's been getting away with so much damage throughout the game. 31 eco kills, make that 34. Make that 35 and it's not going to be the end of it. So many villagers, bloody parade. For Hera. As the Viper continues going for push. Further forward, he's bringing the trebuchets down so that he can take the castle down next, the TC down next, right? We do have a good amount of golem for Hera. He's trying to mass the units up. Viper, on the other hand, is going to go for Cavalier. He's going to try and make a play for that unit. Right now, he doesn't really have enough population space to really go for much or anything. So we have Halberdier, Arbalesters for the most part for the Viper. And then he's got Sound Like Cavalry. And here come the Golem. Viper needs to bring the Like Cavalry back. He's got the Halberdier over here, but it seems like he's just gonna try to get the rage going. You know, after all, if they go and clean out the units from the Viper, it doesn't matter. The Viper is still the one getting the more villager kills over here anyway. Because the Viper can replenish the military units very easily, but every villager that the Viper gets over here is going to hurt so much more for Hera, right? It's going to be a much pricier loss, and that is once again a complete slaughterhouse underneath the TC from Hera, losing 66 villagers so far this game. And up in the north, there is a Hussar raid coming out from here, and the Viper seems to realize he's paying attention, guys, everywhere. Snake's looking in shape, although he does go down in population very, very much so. It's going to allow him to start going for Cavalier, mind you, so he can get a good amount of units out. Then the Golem won't be quite as effective anymore, and it seems like he's aiming for that. Yeah, he's shooting for the Cavalier army. Meanwhile, Hera's got Camel still. He's reacting to the Cavalier play by going for a heavy Camel Rider. Viper on the other hand has got more Halberdier, more Arbalesters coming out. He's got exactly twice the amount of eco kills compared to Hera. But he was unable to get the castle down, right? And he ended up losing the trebuchets, so he's got more trebuchets in the way only from now. Right hand side. Well, the Golem will go down if they are just getting trickle like this. They are just sending, if Hera's just sending one at a time. Now he's sending a stronger army. Doesn't need this many. Probably 4 is going to be enough. And then the rest he could potentially have sent over to try and raid, or maybe take these units down from the Viper before they become an issue. And that's a good point as well. The Viper is getting another castle up on the right hand side, and between the castle and the TCs, Viper's economy is extremely well protected. You take a look at this and you tell me it's so well protected for him. Here's critical point, 70 on foot. Gotta hate those Hussar raids. We'll see. He's gonna start queuing the Hussar, yes. And the Viper still on the juggling to get to 200 populations. Got the Ring Archer armor coming up. Doing a really good job against the Hussar alone with Arbalesters and a few Halberdier over here, so that's good. And the Viper's raids are coming up once again. Halberdier, the Cavalier. Hera's economy is a little bit stronger right now in villager count, but he needs the numbers as well. Once again, if he takes a bunch of villager losses over here, he won't really have the means to sustain the Hussar production, right? And Hera needs to win. Hera needs to win all 3 remaining games back to back to back in order to take the series over here. There are no second chances over here, actually. There are no 5th chances for Hera. He has to win all 3 remaining games. The Viper loses this one. He still has a fantastic civilization for Arena. He still has a fantastic civilization for Fortress. And Hera not so much. Does the Viper have Thumb Ring? Viper's got Thumb Ring, yes. These are fully upgraded Arbalistas at this point. Yeah, he's got the complete blacksmith, as a matter of fact. He's researched everything. Here on the other hand, not quite. To be fair though, the upgrades that he's missing are going to be only impactful for skirmishers, which he's not thinking of going for right now. It's going to be mainly gold units for Hera still. There's a lot of units coming up from Hera. He might be able to get a clean up over here. There's good unit control as well. Hera's targeting the Halberdier with a Gulam. And then we don't have too many Halberdier over here left for the Viper to try and take on the cavalry units from Hera. So Viper's just trying to go back towards his production buildings, towards his castle, and it seems to me like he's probably going to end up cleaning this up eventually, but both players are going to take a lot of losses. Right hand side, the raid's coming in from the Viper though still. Hera down to 130 to 31 villages over here, still looking better compared to the Viper, but overall has lost over 100 workers throughout the game. He's lost over twice as many units compared to the Viper still. There's the reinforcements coming from the Viper, and then the engagement starts favoring the yellow player. Yeah, big race everywhere. The extra villages going down over here to the one Arbalester from the Viper. How good is this value? Like we are getting straight to the wall line, and there is a pause. And who is pausing this? It's going to be paused by Hera. He's gotta be just scratching his head right now, and like strategic pause, right? There is a pause. Strategic pause over here, trying to figure out how to best move forward with this game. The Viper's rates are looking very good. And now we see, now we see the game continuing. Viper's starting to get to the back of Hera's base as well. Maybe he's checking the tech tree? Maybe? I don't know what else he could potentially go for that he doesn't know if the Hindustanis get. And the Viper's gonna start streaming the unit straight into Hera's economy. The castles from the Wool player, they are on the right hand side, on the left hand side, very far away, and they are not really protecting the bulk of his economy over here. All the farmers will potentially still be exposed over here. As long as the Viper's able to get a good trade, right? Halberdier, the Cavalier, he's got a little bit of everything, a little bit of an AI army over here from the Viper. Like Cavalry, Cavalier, Halberdier, Arbalisters. Now two Cherishes on the way, so we see a surround coming in from Hera right now, and the Viper, it seems like he's going to get pushed away. At the very least, does not seem to be interested in taking the engagement with the Cavalier because of the camels over there, but he might still end up coming out on top. The Halberdier and the Arbalisters, they are doing so much damage, and Hera will end up losing the majority of the units, while the Viper was going for the trebuchet to take the castle down on the right hand side, and just by chance it's gonna have the trebuchets to take the foundation down from Hera right away, and the Wool player is gonna feel the pain over here. With the extra Halberdier, the Viper will take the cavalry units down from Hera. And this castle, it's not going up, and if it goes up, it's going to go up in flames, and Hera calls the GG as the Viper gets a not so close victory in the grand final of T90 Titans League with a final score of 4-1. The best 7 goes in favor of the Snake. The king of Age of Empires goes back straight into his throne. Hera is unfortunately not going to contest the title anymore. Let's take a look at the engagements. Actually, the engagements. Let's take a look at the achievements. We've been taking a look at the engagements for the last 10 minutes. We see a better KD for Hera by a lot, but it did not matter. The economy for the Viper more than offset for the 9,000, close to 9,000 extra resources, more like 8,000 extra resources. Society looking better for Hera by a little bit for the villager max count, but he did take the most losses with 126 villagers going down. Meanwhile, for the Viper, he ended up losing about 40 7 villagers over there. Found a mistake. And quick maths. Sorry, I'm not getting those right. But yeah, absolutely amazing performance for the Viper over here. Not particularly close final. And Hera goes down.